Greetings, and welcome to another edition of Runescape Weekly. Joining me today is Pyrnassius and TheRRman. And welcome to chat. How you doing? Epistix, how you doing? MC Sabotai, how you doing? Welcome. We have a good show for you today. Sorry about...
a big pre-show.
Yeah, a huge, massive pre-show. It's already up. Patreon.com/RuneScape. I just posted it. I'll put a link in chat.
But listen to us live first, and then go and listen to that straight afterwards.
Yep. Definitely. Definitely don't want to do both at the same time. That would be weird. But, yeah, $1 gets you access to it. But holy crap, 2.5 hours. TheRRman and I did, like, a weird morning show. And it was fun. We talked about retro, like, gaming and stuff. And outlets. That was weird.
Retro gaming and outlets.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
subscribe.
That's all you need to know. Is I talked about how I used to do weird things with outlets and how, you know, it gets weird.
And I used to do weird things with consoles. Patreon.
That's all you need to know.
I used to do weird things with outlets, like stick my finger in them and get electrocuted.
Welcome to RuneScape Weekly.
On that note, why don't we do a show? It's dark in my room.
I just want to say, in that time that I ran away to make my coffee, I got 3 kills at Armadillo AFKing and picked up a pair of Armadillo boots.
Oh, nice! Congrats. Good work, AFK. Thank God this game just has built-in botting now. Isn't that great?
You just walk away. I mean, that's what TheRRman were just talking while you were off getting the everything prepared. Is yeah, he's like, how can you do that? Just walk away, and just how easy with the OC, and just how interesting it is now to be able to do things like that. And the pet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I walked away. I wouldn't have known the boots, and walked back, and they're just sitting in my inventory. It's like, fantastic. Thank you. The best fix of this week. I'm going to say of the year already, but
I agree.
Oh, this isn't the end of year show, Pern.
Yeah, no,
update of the year.
It's up there. It's definitely up there. All right, let me close that. Open that. Doobie-doobie-doo. I think we're on the right page. Can we ever be on the right page? Am I ever on the right page? All right. I think we're good. I think we're ready to begin. I'm going to go ahead and... That's not how that works. Why does that never work like that?
It can never be perfect.
I need a stream deck! One day. All right. It'll work this time, though. Bringing up this, bringing up that.
And clicking this, and clicking that.
I'm going to rig up the show notes now. Okay.
Yes, yep, there we go.
Just hit every button. One of them will
Press
work.
them all. Something will eventually happen. Where's the music? Actually, I think it's actually no monitor. Don't shut off in 5 minutes, please. Goddamn power saving technology. All right, I think we're good to go.
You can save the planet, but you're not saving my podcast.
Namaste. Okay, let's do a show.
Yep. Okay, let's go.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right, in 3, 2, 1. You're listening to RuneScape Weekly for March 29th, 2019. I'm your host, Magebit, with over 17 years of RuneScape experience. Joining me today is Pyrnassius and TheRRman. And on today's show, spellbook swap and fixes, a message from player support, show us results, portable Vic the Trader, PVM week and fire making revitalization, big question Q&A TLDW, Onyx Dust, it's a thing. Is RuneScape 3 the best MMORPG? Let's talk game integrity. Smeltable salvage? Massive waste of time? And this game takes too long. Thanks for tuning in, and enjoy the show. Welcome back to your Friday edition of RuneScape Weekly. Sorry about last week. We're here for a mega show. We're combining last week's updates and this week's updates, cramming them together into one big gooey show. today, and even the pre-show, 2.5 hours long, patreon.com/RuneScape. We are just bringing it back for you, trying to make it up in the best way we can.
And for full disclosure, last week was 100% my fault. I'll just get it out the way straight away so everyone knows, because I have been asked a bit what has been happening. My insurance company has decided that they'll no longer... Well, not my insurance, the work cover insurance people have decided that they'll no longer cover my physiotherapy, which is one of the few things that keeps me upright and walking every week. So I had a bit of a meltdown last week and just sort of shut myself off from everything. So that was the reason that last week's show didn't happen. So apologies to everyone out there, but we are back this week and we're going to have a good, strong one for you.
I could have taken it upon myself to do a pre-show. I could have taken it upon myself to do a solo show. But
it's hard to do solo shows. It's good to bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, it's never the same to do a solo show. And I wanted to wait. And I think it's going to pay off with today's show.
I think whenever you do a solo show, only the TheRRman enjoys it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about you and solo shows.
Yeah, just so solo.
He's used to a lot of solo actions.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just me and the sheep.
Moving
on.
We have a wonderful docket, nonetheless. We have managed to put together a good docket. We do have some PSAs. We totally failed to mention the first PSA from last week was in regards to the farm. Someone discovered an interesting breeding trait combination, which was joyful and immune. Gives you feedless breeding, which I thought was kind of interesting. Just something to think about if you are really lazy and want to just keep breeding your animals and never worry about feeding them. You can roll for those two traits. Yeah.
That'll be an awesome one if you're doing your zygomites.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the bloom shrimp things. Yeah. I've been going down, and that's another little hint for people who want to feed them. If you have your Mauritania legs and you've got access into that area, basically with your prayer outfit, there is a little deposit box down there, and you can cast bloom if you've got that sickle. Cast bloom down there. Right next to the deposit box, there's 3 little logs, so you can get like the 3 at a time. Pick those. If you've got the Mauritania legs, you get double of the mushrooms, and I can do 1,000 in about 20 minutes. So great way to get mushrooms if you're sort of trying to be self-sufficient and save money.
Mushrooms are great. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's a bit of a New Zealand tip for you. You have a joyful sheep and an immune sheep. It makes a great combo, I'll tell you that. Moving on.
We also have a this event in history style announcement. 15 years ago today, RuneScape 2 was released, making RuneScape Classic. That's pretty cool, right? March 29th, 2019, apparently.
Wow.
Didn't know that. So that's cool. Anyway, those are your PSAs for the day. We can now jump right into the news. Let's see, we got our first topic coming from the official website, being Spellbook swap and fixes. It says, greetings, we've got a fair few nips and tucks to discuss this week, including improvements to spellbook swapping and a much requested change to transmogrification. But before we go on to that, news of a slight delay. Again, the slight delay is not really prevalent at the moment because this is an older article we're catching up. So I'm going to skip over that and talk about the spellbook swap. So they've made some changes to spellbook swapping. Now, new spells have been added to both the ancient and lunar spellbooks that facilitate direct swapping to a different spellbook. The new spells have new icons to differentiate them from the existing spellbook swaps. You will still need the required amount of runes to swap spellbooks. Transmogrification Unification has also been revealed as well. It was already in the game, apparently. They just forgot to tell us about it, so That's pretty cool. It's just right alongside your emotes. Highlights for the patch notes include the reward shop from the Garage and Trailblazer outfit no longer require you to wear the outfit to get the reward shop discounts or skip floors, provided you own the outfit, and the Grace of the Elves will now show a debuff when deactivated, and the buff when activated to help you distinguish which state that it's in.
Can I just... Did anyone really find that debuff icon necessary?
No, not really.
No, because when you had it running, it was there, and if it wasn't, there was nothing. I mean, it just clutters up more on your screen.
Yeah, kind of a waste of it. Because those are limited spaces, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, why? I mean, I've never had, is mine on? I look down, yep, the icon's there, it's on. No, it's not, it's off. Anyway,
basically.
Sorry.
No worries. May 2019 Aura sales. In May, a selection of the most sought-after auras will go on sale in Solomon's General Store. With savings of up to 30,000 loyalty points on offer, you'll be spoiled for choice. The Aura sale will go live at midnight game time on May 1st, 2019, and will run until the 23:59 on May 31st. That's a whole month of savings. The Lootscape for this month did include parcels, so prevalent if you were hunting any of those little prizes from the parcels, perhaps. I have already unlocked all of the rings, so...
Have you got the party hat, the Pete's postie hat yet?
I have not. I have not gotten that. That's
500 points. You can buy that.
500 stamps. And you know what? I think that's the last thing I can get, right? Like, if I unlock another large box, all I can get is Protean packs, right?
Yes.
So the only thing I really should do is save up for... Unless I want Protean packs, which I don't mind. Like, it's not a bad thing to have Protean packs.
Protean packs are great for free free construction. And quick free construction too,
and also just like
AFK free construction too.
effortless hunter as well.
Yes, true.
So I might just cash in on the Protean packs as well and just say forget the hat. Oh, I have a question that I think is a stupid question, so I'm going to throw it out here and make fun of myself. Does everyone get one huge parcel from the event? Is that a guarantee? That's not a guarantee, right?
If you're logged in for 20 straight days, I think it was. It was 5 days, 15 days, 25, or something like that. You got the small, medium, large. Yeah.
For the large, not huge though, right? Not a huge. No huge, just large. Okay.
Large, yeah.
Okay, the huge was not guaranteed. Okay, that's what I wanted to know because
Wait, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. I think they give you they guarantee you a large one, not a huge one.
We got light, heavy, bulky,
and
weighty,
and those are custom, right? But then they give you small, medium, and large along with those. A large one comes out of the weighty one, if I'm correct.
So you're saying the weighty has a bigger... Something bigger comes out of weighty, because that just messes my whole fucking concept of space and time.
The heaviest one produces a large parcel, is what I'm trying to say. Is what I believe. Yeah. Is what I'm trying to. The one that gives a chance for 500 million. Yes, the one that spawns the 500 million. Not everyone gets a chance at that. That's what I'm trying to say.
I believe right. Yeah. Yeah, I think that comes out of one of the other ones.
Right.
So something comes out of something and then comes out of something else.
It's like Russian dolls.
It's too much coming for me. Move along!
The TheRRman is on. Don't get us to a warning.
Anyway, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't believe we are guaranteed a large parcel. I mean, a huge parcel. Because I could have sworn I had a huge parcel, but I'm pretty sure that I am... literally just insane, and
I could probably check the Wikipedia.
No, I mean, so I did.
There is such thing as a huge parcel.
No, I know there's a huge parcel. I just don't think you're guaranteed one. That's all. I know I could have gotten one. I know
huge parcel.
And I wish Jagex would track these things. I don't think they track them in the adventurer's log if you get one. Anyway, moving along. A message.
Yeah.
Pern, would you like to read a message from player support?
I will read a message from player support. Let me just get back in the corner, because as soon as you say that, he actually knocked me out of my little safe spot in the corner. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
A message from player support. Oh, no, it's Jagex are listening, and they go, okay, let's screw him up right now. We'll push him out of the corner right now, because mate just asked him to do something.
Right.
It's like when I used to, all my the little Seren spirits used to always come when, as soon as I had to do... as soon as I had to read something. Anyway, a message from player support. At Jagex, we're always looking to offer the best possible experience to our players for all our titles. In this blog, which will be the first in a series, we'd like to address subjects we've seen discussed a lot over the past few weeks, Jagex customer support. In this blog, we aim to outline the current status of the support and the areas we've noticed you would like additional support with. We're also starting to discuss it. We will also start to discuss what we'd like to improve your experience over the course of the coming months. Firstly, we'd like to address some of the points that we've seen from within the community. First up, account security and recovery. We have seen many comments suggesting that our account security is not as effective as it needs to be, and that the systems we do have in place, such as Authenticator, are not doing enough to protect against things such as account hijacking, because we understand that people don't want to be responsible for themselves and want to blame us for everything. There is a frustration. Sorry, that was my little bit there. There is a frustration at the lack of lost item policy outside of extreme circumstances, and account recovery difficulties are being encountered. Now, first off, account security recovery. We've always said all along, your account is only as secure as your email, because Authenticator is fantastic, but if you don't have your email secured as well, you're going to get hacked and lose things, and that's... yeah. I mean, people are blaming Jagex that their system isn't strong enough, but really, you know, you've got to... people have to be responsible for their own security and look after a lot of those other extra things themselves.
It's kind of... it's kind of interesting they bring it up. Like, does that mean they're going to maybe become a little bit more lax about it? Like,
they apparently, yeah. I did actually hear from someone a couple of weeks ago that they are looking at increasing their customer support with all this type of stuff, and not getting so much a live team into it, but just doing a lot more, getting it quicker, having, rather than just their straight robotic response on everything, actually having a more hands-on team looking at things immediately and such. So anyway, customer support. The belief that the only way to contact customer support is via Reddit and Twitter. A desire for a more effective direct communications channel. And that the support center is a maze of frequently asked questions. So these are the problems that they're having, that they're looking at fixing. Yeah, anti-cheating?
Oh, okay, yep.
No, sorry, you go.
No.
Nope. Anti-cheating.
Like, that's a serious problem, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and that's why they're looking at fixing, because people think they can only, if they go to Reddit or Twitter, they're going to get more response than if they actually use the official forums and reporting things. And that comes a lot to do with, A, the way the mods do respond on those forums, and B, I mean, you do have some high-profile YouTubers out there who have, you know, managed to get things reversed and such for themselves, you know, by taking to Twitter and starting, you know, their little rants and things like that.
Yeah.
Onto anti-cheating. Yeah, I know, but anyway, it'll never happen. I mean, famous people will always get sort of, you know, that thing where they do have that chance to get their stuff out there a bit more than the regular show.
I guess it's just nice. It's actually kind of nice that they admit.
Yeah,
it's like they're admitting it. They sort of know.
That's right. And now
it's kind of like just putting that statement there. They sort of know they've gone a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's the good thing, and that's what they're saying. They are going to fix it. We know we've got problems. We're going to invest money into fixing all these type of problems. So, you know, always happy when when they put their hand up and say, "Hey, look, this is what we're doing. This is what we know the issues are. This is what we're going to fix." So, good on them for that.
Exactly. Good stuff.
Okay, anti-cheating. It feels like there are too many bots in some areas of the game. Obviously, they are talking more OSRS in that part of it. There's a perception that some bans are unfair or false, for example, with bans applied when an account is hijacked. Over the coming weeks and months, we want to build on the areas above and build a detailed understanding of what the main issues are for all players, not only those active on social media. To demonstrate our commitment, these are the 3 things we aim to do this year. 1, we will continually survey all players rather than just those on Reddit or Twitter to understand what you think is important from a customer support perspective. We'll use this information. We'll use this to inform our priorities and measure our progress. 2, a series of detailed blogs on these topics will outline plans involving 1, upgrading our systems, 2, account security, recovery, and lost items, 3, challenging myths about customer support, and 4, toxicity in-game. Is there toxicity in-game? Do you really think there's much toxicity in-game? He says tongue-in-cheek. Just head down to our Portable Worlds anytime you like.
Bite me.
Updating you regularly when things get fixed, released, or improved. We won't promise a moon and deliver an orange. However, Jagex has already scheduled significant work on customer support and account management systems in 2019. Some of this is already underway in the background, and some won't begin until later in the year. The reality is that many of our systems are bespoke, meaning we face legacy issues. Spaghetti code. We are working to improve our systems and processes, and in 2019 we have already increased our investment in these areas, and there is more to come. We understand that this is our problem, not yours, but we also want you to understand our situation and then hopefully see why some of the support you currently receive isn't as good as it needs to be. Please do understand that we are changing that. To be totally honest, there are no quick fixes. These significant issues will take time to tackle, and we will talk about it all as openly and honestly as we can in the coming months. We will be hosting a big questions Q&A next week, during which, among other topics, your questions relating to this blog will be put to the team. So please let us know your thoughts on Reddit and the forums. Thank you for your continued patience and passion. Now, let us know your thoughts on first Reddit, then forums. I mean, wouldn't you say on our forums, and if not, perhaps on Reddit.
Maybe.
Promote your forums first. They're just talking about their issues, and then they promote Reddit straight away. Yeah,
they should make the forums a link, at least. In their own document. Reddit is first.
Even they know it's dead.
I mean, well, here's the thing.
But they need to improve it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying they just need to improve it.
Forums are an outdated mode of communication. Even Facebook has implemented in an experimental trial upvote downvote inside of.
Welcome to New Zealand.
Yeah, inside of conversations. It's begun. It is just part of the future. That is how you find, unfortunately, the dominant structure of a conversation. And it may not be the best way, but it's the current status quo. It's taking over. So people are flocking to Reddit because that's what everyone wants. So if Jagex doesn't use a similar model, they're not going to get anyone to their platform. Because their mode of communication is so outdated. The only people sticking around are the old fuddy-duddies that are used to it. And no one new are coming on board unless they're like, oh, hey, I want to try this because my grandpa, used to run a BBS back in the day, and he, before he died, he told me, that it was fun, and
my grandfather Magebit used to speak of the forums.
He left me this iron lung and this old freaking IBM 8080. Anyway, a message from player support. Do you believe that this is a concrete plan forward, or is this just words on paper? If not, words on a screen.
I would say it's a concrete plan. I mean, they said they are working on it at the moment. They have been speaking about investing.
I can tell you that I'm working on a bridge to California.
No, but I mean they've been talking that they are improving systems and such, and they know it's an issue. They are investing money back into the game, and this is one of those areas I would say they are doing it in, and good on them for it. Obviously, it's something that needs to be done. I was a bit tongue in cheek when I said up the top about people taking responsibility for them, for themselves and such. But I do actually stand by that. I mean, people do really need to start, looking at looking at their own backyard before they started accusing Jagex of everything. But we know that this type of thing happens, and people don't always, look to protecting themselves as much and expecting, the internet to do it all for them. So, one of the bigger things I think a problem with the authenticator is the ability to just send in and say, hey, I've forgotten it, turn it, or I can't access it, turn it off for me. And, that they do it straight away. There's issues there that perhaps they do need to look at and such. But overall, I think it's going to be a good thing. And, I do think that, they'll live up to it and there won't be any issues with it.
I hope so. And I'm on your side. I'm on Jagex's side as far as this is concerned. I mean, I understand that there has been a lot of talk in the past. This has been proposed plenty of times in the past, but I think Jagex has the resources this time to actually follow through on it. That's the big difference, I think, this time.
I think it's just interesting they put it all in one post.
Yeah.
Everything all together at once. Hey, let's give them the benefit of the doubt, and we'll see how it goes.
So I'm going to quickly segue directly into a negative post here that is a rebut, and that we can maybe then fight here while we're still on topic. It says
welcome to Runescape Weekly.
It says talk is cheap, Jagex. Show us results, says Gondor IRL. Want to begin by saying that it's good to see Jagex finally talking some modicum of responsibility, or at least an admitted awareness of their customer service situation. Historically, and to this very day, Jagex customer service has ranged from really bad to non-existent, and it's a huge factor in why the game has been more in the league of Wizard 101 or Club Penguin than it has ever been in the league of things like EverQuest or World of Warquack. World of Warquack. Wow, the World of Warquack. I can't say it. World of Warquack.
Hannah, where are you?
World of Warcrack. World of Warcraft. I need help. Anyway. First of all, what I wanted to say there, my brain was like, you need to talk about EverQuest. Forget about World of Warcraft. EverQuest is way more important to talk about right now, because in the league of EverQuest, do you have any idea where that IP is right now? It is sitting in the effing toilet. It is being picked up by Nant G. It's hanging on by a thread. Daybreak Games sold it to some no-name company that is trying to pump the life back into it, that also has no customer support. It's like a 5-man development team. They do mobile games. So shut up. Anyway.
And check out Elite Dangerous.
Yes, good.
What would you think if Jagex, because they are looking at investing in other companies and such, would that sort of fit into their model of gaming? These what was it? EverQuest.
What, EverQuest? Well, what about EverQuest? I mean,
that would just been sold. Is that the one you talked about?
Yeah, Daybreak. Daybreak is up for buys. Yeah, I mean, Jagex should buy Daybreak. Yes, it would totally fit their model of monetization and everything. 100%. As far as they would make Daybreak thrive if they could buy them. It would be amazing.
Because I mean, they are looking at investing and growing such, and that's the type of thing. If you've got an established game that people do know, and they've seen the love that OSRS received, so some of these older games, if you start bringing them back, it can only be a good thing and increase. Increase your profile out there, and then perhaps introduce those people to your own games, such as RuneScape and things like that.
Right, exactly.
Anyway,
hey, bring back some of those old games. Just bring back Idle Adventure.
Yeah, bring back Idle Adventure. Well, that's what the people want. FS6 saying, a friend of mine got DDoSed when we wanted to find another RuneScape player to Skype with. Skype is the pinnacle of cybersecurity. Exactly. Skype is garbage. That's why I ditched Skype completely, 100%. I am
we
wary.
use Discord.
I am wary of anyone that wants to use Skype, even for business. I'm like, can we use something else?
Yeah,
Please?
welcome to RuneScape Weekly 2015. Am I right?
Sorry, I haven't configured Nightbot yet. I am such a trash moderator for my channel. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. Anyway, next topic.
Keep that sexy smile going.
That's all I can do. Anyway, basically, I don't know what to say as far as talk being cheap. Where was I? Did I I went off on an EverQuest rant. Yeah.
Yes.
I really think that Jagex should buy Daybreak Games. Yes, but that completely aside, let me continue on here. I digressed way too far off track there. With the recent announcements that Jagex seems to be taking a more serious step towards revamping their customer service, including laying out their known issues, owing up to them to a point, there's a lot of need to unpack when it comes to why their customer service isn't or hasn't been very good, but I'd like to hope that this isn't some kind of serious start. Jagex has had some of the most amateur and laughable poor auto detection systems I have ever seen. Again, I disagree with that, but which has led to a massive issue with players being wrongfully and discriminatively banned for what the system detects as botting. For a long, long time, there was no way to voice this issue, as anyone affected by it would be quickly laughed at by the community and their claims immediately silenced by community judgment. Jagex doesn't make any mistakes has been a long-standing thought. And, of course, as you know here, we have been adamantly fighting against that. The whole
99.9%.
Yeah, the whole no.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, the whole if somebody has a really unique story, it deserves to be looked into, because the 100% rule is bullcrap, and they can't say that. And I think our campaign somewhat had an effect, because they have stopped doing that. But who knows? Maybe I'm just being slightly narcissistic. RuneScape next, yes. Pure Sushi's got the memes. I love it. It's comforting to believe that, but it's never been true. The amount of people wrongfully banned in this game for macroing is revolting. I just don't know about that. And it's always been sad to see. Why I don't believe that is, again, my account is almost 18 years old. Like, in a month and a half, it's going to be 18 years old. I have played using really funky controllers on really funky, tablets, using really funky connections, VPNs. I have done everything under the sun that is weird.
And you also do play long, long hours. So if anyone was going to get a false macro ban, one would expect yourself to pick that up.
And I played it. I played at universities where tons of people have probably bought it. I played on public connections. I've done everything. I've even got my account locked for skipping around on VPNs. I've done everything sketchy, and I have not gotten banned. I've even had my account hijacked, and I have not gotten banned. So, and again, people would say, Magebit, you're a public figure, but I'm not really to the degree that some of the other people are. It's there's look at Torvesta, right? Look at the Torvesta memes going around right now. If when my name got taken away, when my Magebot name got taken away back in 2010. There was one thread on the RuneScape forums that was going strong for me, but there wasn't memes going around on the internet. It's that stuff doesn't happen. So it's that's what they're saying is those types of people are the people that get attention, right? That's the problem, and that needs to be addressed. I think is one of the bigger issues. Is you shouldn't have to have a huge story to get your issue addressed, and I agree with that specifically. And I do think that needs to be worked on. I do not agree with the whole people get banned falsely. That I think that maybe it happens in 0.1% of the time, but What I do agree with is when you're in a hijack situation and you're trying to get your account back, per se, and you have some of your information, a good amount of your information, maybe you have a few things that are off, and the auto system rejects you, that is infuriating. And I understand that being a problem, and that is when I think the human element needs to be more involved and scrupulous. And I'm going to just continue on reading here because I've injected enough of my own taint here, so let's continue on here. Poor word choice, I know.
It was.
Let's continue. Jagex, he says, Jagex doesn't make any mistakes. Has been a long-standing thought. It's comforting to believe that, but it's never been true. The amount of people wrongfully banned in this game for macroing is revolting, and it's always been sad to see Jagex treat its dwindling player base as expendable. It's half expect this level of wanton carelessness from a game with millions upon millions of players, not from one who needs all the support it can get.
Even though it grew over almost 15% last year, but yeah, it's a dwindling player base.
Yep. But I bring this up because it brings me into my point that it's clear Jagex is finally owning up to their mistakes and laziness because the players are no longer enabling them anymore. More and more I see the community lend sympathetic ears towards people complaining about wrongful bans and less of the rabid fanboy mob that decry Jagex doing no wrong. I don't see these posts. Where are these posts?
No. I mean,
I've seen like that one
15 years ago, 10 years ago, the people, the fanboy love. But that's, I mean, I'm sorry, what he's describing there is true throughout society as a whole. I mean, we see the bad guys all getting cheered in the wrestling. You see the ones they try and push and make popular, getting booed out of arenas. The same in all different things. I mean, in our sports down here, that the good popular teams are all getting kicked out and things like that, and it's just what is happening these days. It's just society as a whole is going against the norm and want to have a shot and jump on the side of the underdog or the bad guy and attack the big companies and things like that. So,
Epistix chiming in and saying 100% of murderers don't go to jail for the rest of their life. Why should botters lose accounts permanently? That's interesting. I mean, again,
because they own the account, you only lease that account, and if you stuff up their rules, that's I don't agree with it. I mean, I would say, depending on
what if the government says you only are leasing your body.
Wow. The only problem is that he's taking his numbers from the New Zealanders, which unfortunately our life fucking verdict is not life. But let's not talk about that. Let's move on.
Yeah, I was going to say that's also very dependent upon where the murder conviction is, and yada. Let's we're gonna move along here
and moving on to the current situation. So we may actually have the permanent life situation. Moving on,
but that account ban thing. I mean, if you're botting and you're found like for gold farming, making money type things, then you're done and gone. If you got your one little account and you sat there and you got bored doing wood cutting or something, so you ran a little bot, I think a 30-day ban. 2-week ban, 30-day ban, then life ban if you do it a third time is sort of more what I would look at for them rather than just a straight out life ban straight up personally.
Let's see here. Where am I? I think at this point people are either directly know or at least have heard stories of someone being banned for no reason. Nope. I mean, all right, I've had, I think, one person in the past 3 years claim to be banned for no reason or banned because their family or friend was playing on their network and botting, allegedly. And that's one friend in like 3 years, and I'm not 100% sure if I believe them. With enough reason to trust the claims. I myself was the quote-unquote victim of a faulty ban. The truth comes out! So it was an auto-mute. Okay, that's not that bad. And all right, you can prove an auto-mute being false. And auto mutes. All right, that is all right. I'm gonna back up here. Auto mutes are really, really very minor things, and those happen actually more often than you'd think, because the auto mute system is based off of a dictionary heuristic system that is not very accurate. It's kind of, it's
And let's face it, though, an auto mute, you can't talk for, 4 hours?
Yeah,
or
like
24 hours? Whoop-de-doo. I mean, really? You're gonna cry about something like that? I've been punished. I've been punished and sent to my room for something my sister did when I was a kid, and it's like, okay, you got to go sit in your room for an hour. What's the use in arguing that? Just go do it. Get your Game Boy out from underneath your bed or whatever you have. Play that. Sit in your room for an hour and go back.
I got muted for 3 days because somebody asked me for the website of my freaking podcast.
That's
all right. Like I got muted
in private chat too.
In private chat, I got muted for 7 days for saying that Jesus smokes weed. I got muted for I got muted for 24 hours once for just spamming symbols in the fishing guild. Like you muted some. I think one of those, two of those I deserved. Okay, 2 of those I deserved.
The Jesus smoked weed one you're sticking by, right?
I deserved that one. No,
I thought you meant that was the one you shouldn't have got banned for.
I mean, I'll take that one. I don't know.
What else is he gonna do when he's hanging out there on that cross?
I don't know. Hey, now I don't.
Previously on Lost.
The website one is what I'm saying about the website one is I basically did break a rule, but I was baited into breaking a rule, so I was like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Some of the rules, you just... let's just say, at the end of the day, I'm glad that Magebit got his account back, and we are in a good situation.
Yeah. Exactly.
2 of those, yeah. So
that's all that matters.
2 of them, I was just being childish. One of them, I was just like, but I took it. It was like, I wasn't going to appeal, just because, I was like, all right, I did technically break the rule, but you're an asshole.
Sometimes you got to bend over and just
take it.
Be an asshole.
Exactly. It's just like, anyway. So wait, let's continue on here. So it says here, what does he say? It was an auto mute that utilized a now defunct trick to fool someone into triggering the auto mute, and it's coming into play. He got fooled. Basically, you're
an idiot, and you're crying because you're an idiot. You got suckered in, and it's like, April Fools.
Triggered into an auto mute because the trick used to do that. You'd go up to someone and say knock knock, and they'd say who's there. Then you'd say you are, and they'd say you are who, and they'd say report you for asking for personal details, and it'd mute you automatically. This actually fucking worked for years. Unacceptable for a company like Jagex, but I guess I digress. All right,
would you actually? I mean, sorry,
it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
It's horrible. That should not work. That's horrible that it worked. That's not that's the stupidest thing in the world.
But again, you get muted for 4 hours. Whoop-de-doo.
And I'm sure that got quashed. Obviously, if it was a bug.
If it was that popular and they knew about it, then someone would have told them. They would have looked into it and gone, okay, so we can look at this one.
It's hilarious.
Better.
Have a sense of humor. I mean, I'm laughing about all of my mutes years later. This guy's still got a stick up his butt. Anyway, my point is...
But he's a vegan.
Then he'd eat the stick. My point is that Jagex isn't the best spot. And it's clear Jagex isn't... I can't even talk anymore because I'm trying not to laugh. My point is that Jagex isn't in the best spot, and it's clear that they're finally taking action about it. No offense to vegans. A vegan lifestyle is fine as long as you take your vitamins. I hope that it isn't just another one of their infamous dead on arrival promises, because better customer support is something the game needs if it ever wants to be more legitimate than Roblox. Wow. Oh, they technically... Do they own... No, they don't own Roblox. I'm thinking of...
smoke weed every day.
Thank you, TheRRman. We are coming up on the April 1st show, so thank you.
April 20th show.
Yes, that too. Yeah, we're going to just roll April 1st and April 20th into one show, I think.
Into one?
We'll see. Let's see. Item restoration, better ban oversight, better automation, less automation, and only as needed. All right, I'm just lost. Let me start that sentence over. Item restoration. Okay, so lost items. Better ban oversight. Better automation and less automation. Pick one. You can't have both. Only as needed, and most importantly, clear channels of contact. Constant contact are all of some of the few things this company needs. That is like an absolute mess of a sentence.
Shocking sentence, yeah.
Wow. I'm gonna start drinking again.
I mean, item restoration is. We've discussed it before. It's a very hard thing to do in this game. Because someone has legitimately bought that thing and is sitting there. You know, I've gone and bought the Seren Godbow off the GE, bought it legitimately, but someone put it up there off a hijacked account. Do they take that off me and then give it back to the original person? Then you got an unhappy person who, hey, I bought a Godbow, now I don't have it anymore. How do you go about doing that type of thing? It's a very difficult thing to do. The item restoration thing, unless it's still on the original, on the account that stole it. That's going to be a very hard one. But the sort of banning oversights and such, the auto muting, I mean, certainly all those type of things do need to be looked at and brought into the 21st century. But that's the thing. They are looking into it. They've said, it's been a problem. What people have to keep remembering that while, yes, Jagex seems like a huge company, they're still an indie company. They've only the last few years started making reasonable profits that they can start pumping back into the company as a whole. When ING, was it IGN, ING?
Which one? You want an investment firm, or do you want a company that rates games badly?
No, the investment firm that ING, yeah. When they owned it, I mean, they were all about just making the profits. Then it was sold to the Chinese, who sat there and they wanted to build the game up and diversify and do that type of thing. This is why we're now seeing that this type of thing, reinvestment back into the game to do that type of thing. But it is ultimately still an indie company. It is a small company. It is going to take time to do this.
Despite
they don't have thousands upon thousands. Yeah.
Despite the massive profits and massive size, it is still technically an indie company. When does it stop being when do you stop becoming an independent company?
Technically they're not an indie company anymore because they're actually owned by a larger firm. So you can't technically call them an indie company, but the size of them is still technically indie size.
They're medium
they don't have
companies,
thousands of people.
Medium
they don't have thousands and thousands of employees.
No, they don't. They're a medium to small company, right?
They're 400 odd people. That's from developers to tech support to pay ladies to everyone there. That's 400 people in the entire company. I mean, my head office in the company I worked at had more people than that just at the head office.
Fair.
So,
because
we do have to remember
that was a giant retail corporation. Yeah, fair. I get you. That makes sense. All right. So again, I think a lot of these things that this person is grieving about, they claim that they're going to address, but again, they want to see action, not just words. And we have to wait and see. Will these things be delivered in 2019? Well, 2019 is not even half over. Time will tell.
It might get shelved again because of mobile.
Yeah, maybe. God,
but no, I mean, and as I said, why would this a week ago?
Customer service and mobile have nothing to do with each other. That should not happen.
Well, neither really does the bank rework. But hey.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That's part of the game.
Yeah.
No, I'm being a comedian for comedy's sake. But I mean, this has come out a week ago. Let's not jump down their throats a week later and say, well, we want to see action. We want to see this. We want to see this. If they've shown us nothing in 3 months' time, then by all means jump on the forum and say, hey, what's going on? You haven't updated us. You haven't told us what's going on. Don't do it a week after they've posted and told us that they're looking into it and they're starting action is what I'm sort of saying.
Right. Any other thoughts on this topic from chat or the panel? All right. Our next topic. is Portable Vic the Trader. Now, this is obviously a point of contention.
Update of the year.
I'm going to read through the article here, and then I'm going to provide my little blurb on it. I provided more insight on the pre-show than I'm going to provide here. So if you want
my question...
Yeah?
My question is, are you going to provide buckets?
I will not provide buckets. Why do you need buckets?
Okay, everybody...
For the vomiting.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
Maybe bags? I might have some bags. Hang on. Let me see.
He's got a lot of buckets of sand.
That's true. I have
Just
tons of
throw up on the floor, you just throw sand over it.
Yeah, that's true. It'll just soak it. Oh, that'll be so gross, though. It'll be all clumpy. Anyway, let me continue on here.
But mate will deal with it.
It's a good visual. All right, Portable Vic the Trader. And again, spelled Traitor. Hi there. From April 20... I just like how it's just... Hi there. By the way, from April 23rd to May 26th, you will be able to purchase a bond to summon your very own Portable Trader. Like the current trader, to spend your hard-earned bonus XP.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. Just get it out. Get it out. Come on.
Get it out.
At this time, this is not a permanent addition to the game, but we may reintroduce it permanently if it provides to be popular, which basically that means if you buy into this, they're going to reintroduce it permanently into the game. And obviously people are going to purchase this. You can't not purchase this, because if you don't purchase this, you're not going to have it, and then other people are going to have it, and other people are going to have the advantage, and then you're not going to have the advantage, and then if you don't have the advantage, you're a disadvantage. Why do you want to be disadvantaged? So, like...
sorry, I thought I was finished. Sorry, guys.
I won't be buying it.
Pyrnassius is a prime example of what we like to call here the unaffected consumer.
I'm happy with the twice a year that the normal Vic comes. I mean, even that I think is too often personally.
Yes, Pyrnassius only likes to come twice a year. But seriously, this is going to be multiple times a year, guys.
Well, yeah, let me continue. Let me read the document. So how does this work? So you will withdraw a bond from your inventory. You will access the bond interface, then locate the Portable Trader. Activating it will give you a summoning stone in your inventory. You can click the summoning stone and deposit it. You can deposit unwanted bonus XP by talking to Vic the Trader. You can purchase the desired credits. Once activated, the Portable Trader remains for 1 hour, and if you decide to leave the game, the timer will pause. Should you lose sight of your trader, he can be resummoned using the same stone. The Portable Trader can be accessed an unlimited number of times while active. You can buy multiple stones, and they can remain available to you even after the promotion ends. So this is a permanent item that remains to you. You know, it's not like they expire or go away after you purchase them. So it's in. So you buy them. You can stow these away. So if you want to, for instance, at the end of a skill, you're feeling a little ill, and you just need that extra push to get you through to that thrill, you can pull out a Vic the Trader and maybe move some bonus XP over from that dull skill you don't care about. You know?
It'll be very interesting to see how many of these get activated around sort of the bonus XP weekends. People buy them and just keep them in their bank. And just, I'm working on summoning. I'm just going to convert everything to summoning for this weekend. Away I go. It's a great idea for that.
To me, this is obviously just a way. They're going to probably bring this into the game just as an option to bring the value of bonds up, because bonds are kind of sinking, especially during this time of the year. So this was
sucks, because this is generally when I buy all my bonds for... they always go down to like that sort of 13-14 million mark, and it's not happening
but it
has
now.
kept them up. No.
So
which is good. I mean,
It's good for the game, not good for
yeah,
us.
that's right. For myself, okay, it's a pain in the ass, but for the game itself and for Jagged, people buying those bonds to cash in for GP, it's a great option for them. And you want a more stable market when you want to buy that. I don't want to sit there and buy it when it's when I'm only going to get 15 mil. I want to buy it when I'm getting 19 or 20 mil. So
I am I put in the day I heard the announcement. I bought 5 bonds at 19 million, and I will hang on to 5 Victor Traders, and I will probably never use them. But I might have an emergency situation where I'm like, shit, I really need bonus XP in this skill, and I have it a ton in this skill, and I might be happy that I have a Victor Trader lying around. But I don't care. I really don't care that much. I think it's sad
yes.
Yeah, good.
Very sad. Keep going.
I think it's sad to see another promotion that used to be, a little exciting thing that came into the game to boost the progress of players, that be, oh look, it's Vic, cool, let's trade some bonus XP over, yay, it's a fun little thing, and now it's just bastardized into a microtransaction. It's just another bastardization of a fun game mechanic, and that's what pisses me off about it. It's less so Good.
Are they taking away the Vic from the rest of the game?
No.
Will he not appear anymore?
No. He's still going to appear.
Exactly. So this is just separating the boys from the men. Just wait for the bloody Vic.
Exactly.
He comes out every 6 months.
You're not.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend every viewer of the listener of the podcast. Do not buy this. What are you doing? Just wait until Vic comes into the game. This blows my mind.
It's a convenience item. It is.
Just have some patience.
Just read
It's not going.
Just hang the frequently asked questions first, because that will answer a lot of the things you're going on about.
Oh, okay. Yep. All
right. We can go. Can you pop the frequently asked questions, because I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. Is this available to free-to-play players? Yes, for the first time ever, free-to-play players can interact with Vic and trade in their bonus XP. How much does the portable trader cost? The portable trader costs 1 bond. Does this mean the regular Victor trader is disappearing? No. Right now we have no plans to remove the frequently occurring free Victor trader. How long will the portable trader last when summoned? The portable trader will be active for exactly 1 hour, and the timer is paused should you log off. During this time, you can trade and spend earned credits. There will also be a buff on your buff bar showing how long you have left. At the end of promotion, will purchased summoning stones be removed? No, all purchased summoning stones are available to use after the promotion. Does that mean that there will be portable traders everywhere? You cannot place a portable trader within 3 tiles of another player's trader or 10-tile radius of the standard Victor trader. Players can only summon 1 trader at any given time. What if I forget where I put my trader? Don't worry, you can summon him in most places that allow summoning familiars. On top of that, if you have a large distance between you and the trader, they will automatically be dismissed. Now, I mean, I can sort of understand people's anger here. One question I do want to ask is: does he still do the 3-to-2 ratio that normal Victor Trader does? They didn't actually answer that.
No, I believe it. It just seems to be a regular Victor Trader, so I would assume so.
So yeah, so it will be the 3-to-2. So that's fine. I probably play a bit different to everyone else, where I sort of train different skills, different times. So I don't care where my XP is. I'll just do whatever. If there's bonus XP there, great. If there's not, well, who cares? I would never ever spend. I mean, it's so easy to get XP in this game already. That's sort of more what I'm disappointed about. What playing devil's advocate, what I do like about it, it is bonus XP and not straight XP. I'm not trading it in for lamps or anything like that. So I still have to, the players still have to go and train that skill anyway to take advantage of that. I really don't mind this, and I mean, 1 bond it only sits there for an hour, so it's not like you're going to be doing this once a week for that XP. It takes time to build up a reasonable amount of XP that's going to make it worthwhile to then change into this. The normal Victor Trader comes around every 6 months. generally that's more. That's
They say that they're not changing the frequency, but do you think that's going to stay that?
I think so. Even if but even every 6 months, I don't have that much XP that I would exchange for. That I'm going to once a month or anything, unless you're spending tons on keys and getting a ton of bonus XP that then you need to change. But a lot of those come in prismatics anyway, where you've already chosen the XP that you want.
Very interested that Pern is sort of like on the side of this. It's the sort of thing where you don't lose any of your bonus XP, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your bonus XP
you will lose. It's a 2 to 3 ratio.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is, as you gain XP over time, none of it disappears. So it doesn't matter when Vic appears.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So that's what I mean. So don't pay into the shit. Don't waste, what is it, like 20 mil now to buy the Victor trade. Just hold that XP. Don't waste it.
If there's a skill I know I'm not training, and I know Vic's coming up, it's not. It's there for people who want to do it, but still, it is in my eyes. There are a lot better things to spend your bonds on than this. If you want to spend your money on this type of thing, good for you, but you're really look at it carefully, what you're getting out of it, how often, and look at when Vic comes, and am I better off just pop it? I don't train, I'm not training rune crafting for the next 6 months. I'll just throw everything into rune crafting for when Vic comes, and then when he comes in, I'll just trade it all in for the skill I want then. It's just, but the thing is, as I said, 80% of the lamps and such you're getting are as prismatics anyway, so you already choose the skill it's going on to. So, unless you've had a real bad run where, like myself, I block invention things now, so I get nothing from invention. But, Constitution is another one. I've hit the 200 million. And if I've forgotten to do that and I'm building up XP in that, then I want to exchange that out. But, I don't see where this is going to be as a great benefit to anyone.
No,
it's a convenience item for rich people.
Yeah, it's a convenience item. Have some patience. Wait till Vic appears, because they didn't mention at all that Vic's going to disappear, right?
No. He's going to. As they say right there. Does this mean the regular Victor Trader is appearing? No. Right now, we have no plans to remove frequently occurring Victor Trader. Yep.
This is the TheRRman saying from New Zealand, that tiny country in the bottom of the world. Just don't buy this. Save your XP up. Every star, put it into whatever skill you want.
Yeah, as FS6 is saying.
Wait till he comes back along.
As FS6 is saying, it's very, for people, if you have 200 mils, a lot of 200 mils, and you need to move XP around a lot of the time, it could be useful then.
But everyone's got a ton of frozen stars. You just block the ones you don't. I've blocked Constitution and I've blocked Invention. I've got 200 million those. I get nothing from those anymore.
Not everyone's like us and has 25,000 Hearts of Ice Pyrnassius.
Yeah, but I mean, you get 5 a day.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, what he's saying down there about 20 million, 20 plus skills. There's not going to be that many people really who are going to. Yes, it might be useful to those few people, but that's 0.01% of the player base. I'm talking about your average 80% of the player base is just a waste of money for them.
I can just cut in there for a second. For a person that doesn't have a 200 mil skill, if you get bonus, can you not get bonus XP on a skill which you have 200 mil?
No, you can.
You can. You freeze that skill and you won't get anything in that.
No, what I'm saying is
you can hold XP there.
Yeah.
So if I have 200 mil in a skill and I get some bonus XP, it's still
it adds up. Yeah, that's in there. Yeah.
I don't know.
So say you've got 200 mil. What's a useless skill that you do it and fire making is basically something you'll never do. Yeah, well that's it. Once you've hit 200 mil dungeoneering, you'll never do dungeoneering. If you start stacking XP in there, then do it that way. If you want to trade Vic for outfit pieces, if you're just doing XP exchanges though, it's as I said. Majority is prismatics. You'll get a couple in dungeoneering, but you won't be getting them. it's going to make it worthwhile spending an actual bond on. I mean, dropping 19, 20 million in game to convert 300 or 400 KXP, which you're only going to get a 2 to 3 ratio on. So I trade in 300 KXP, I'm only getting 200k back in another skill. It's like that's if you've got 5 mil bonus XP in that particular skill, then okay. But I don't see this being an issue. I see this as a gimmick. I see people jumping on this, and I'm going to be seeing a lot of buyer's remorse at the end of it, personally.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just trying to put it out there as sort of like a warning beforehand. It's it's the sort of thing, just have a bit of patience, save that XP up.
Think before you buy.
Yeah, exactly. Think before you buy. You don't need to do it. They have literally said that the normal Vic isn't disappearing. So
stop.
It's just stop. Just slow down.
Just chill. But
help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
They say a lot of stuff, and then it still changes eventually because then their direction changes. So you never know.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, and in 5 years' time, maybe Victor will go. But I mean, it's a matter of just being patient and looking at it and doing that type of thing.
Yeah. Yep. Now, the one thing I think would be interesting, and it would completely wreck the model. But hey, this is a portable, so everyone should use it. Be able to use it. So
I think it's only.
It's only for the personal. Exactly, it's portable.
Only for personal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, it's a portable. Everyone should be able to jump on. So I'm just saying.
Jump
on
the portable world, and everyone stops.
Exactly. Yeah, do that, and I'm fucking all good. Just saying.
That would be amazing.
Peace out. Next topic.
Moving on. Fire making week and PVM revitalization. Greetings, we're all fired up this week because the long-awaited fire making update is finally here. We've also got the usual selection of changes and fixes, as well as a brand new Slayer resource dungeon, full steam ahead. Incense Burners. We've been aware for some time that fire making just isn't as exciting as the other skills, and a large part of the problem is that training it doesn't feel worthwhile. That's why the biggest part of the new fire making update is the addition of Incense Burners. Incense Burners must be filled with incense sticks. When these sticks are lit, they release a variety of beneficial effects for 10 minutes. This effect can be extended up to 60 minutes by lighting more. Each type of incense has a different buff, which increases in potency every 10 minutes from level 1 to 4. Overloading the incense burner consumes 6 sticks, but instantly provides the maximum potency. To begin with, you can only light one type of incense at a time. This limit is expanded to 2 types at level 71 and 3 types at level 95. If you light a second type of incense when you are below the required level to do so, the original burner effect will be overridden by the new one. So, how do you craft an incense stick? Just follow these 3 easy steps. First, you'll need to whittle down some logs into sticks. Then you'll need to add either impious, accursed, or infernal ashes. Finally, add the required herbs. Hey presto, now you're ready to try out incense burning. Here are the new incense sticks and their effects. Guam is a 10% chance per potency to gain additional logs from normal trees. TheRRman is a 25% chance per potency to generate ashes in your bank when lighting a new fire. Marentil has a 12.5% poison damage reduction per potency. Harlander has a 25% increase to run energy restore rate per potency. Raynar has a plus 1 prayer bonus potency. Toadflax has a 12.5% chance for potency to avoid failing an agility course. Spiritweed has a 10% summoning spell points recovery, natural and by point, etc. per potency. Irrit has a 25% poison damage reduction per potency and multiplicative rather than additive with Marentil, so they'll stack, but 50% from Marentil and 50% from Irrit won't offer 100% reductions. Wargali is a 0.5% chance per potency to produce a strung bow when fletching logs into unstrung bows. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, they didn't even...
1 in 200, basically, you have to do. I mean, that's 0.5% seems
for the
very
amount of
low.
For the amount of effort to make them, yeah.
Yeah.
Avanto is a 5% chance potency to automatically bait hunter traps. Quarum has a 2.5% weapon poison damage per potency. Bloodweed has a 2.5% chance per potency to double logs when cutting bloodweed trees. Snapweed has a 50% stat restore per potency. Cadencine has a 2.5% potency to not exhaust a resource for trees. Laden Time has a plus 30 second on potion timers per potency. Dwarfweed has 2% per potency to bank dropped or gathered items. Torstal has 0.5% base XP per potency. And Fellstock has plus 1% spawn chance to elite NPCs per potency. So there you go. Those are all your different incense sticks.
Is anyone excited about any of those?
Maybe the Torstal? Maybe? Like, when you times that by 6, what is... I'd have to calculate that with
3%.
So it's a 3% boost?
Yep.
I mean, so you add that...
So it basically works like a...
It's like a little extra avatar there.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you don't have to be drunk to get the effect anymore.
Yeah. Thank God.
I mean...
It's going to be hard on the liver.
Yeah, I mean, the Avanto for the 5% potency, I mean... If you've been working up your hunter anyway, most people have the hunter outfit. You don't need to do it on there anyway. The Snapdragon stat restore is probably good. David did tell me about one of them that was going to be really good for the PVMers, and I can't remember which one it was now. Which I'm sorry about that because I meant to bring that up last week. The Dwarfweed 2% to bank a dropped or gathered item, so that's
maybe the
do
prayer
it
bonus?
for that gives you an 8% chance
Poison
to bank an
reduction?
item. That they just seem a little underwhelming to me as just a regular player.
Well, here's the thing: they had to go through the good old balancing ringer. That's what really kind of waters them down.
I'd rather see them bring them in underpowered and then buff them than having to bring them in, and then having to nerf them and listen to the outcry. So, we'll see what happens. But, 0.5% per potency. So what, you get up to 3%.
I'm not wasting my time currently.
Yeah. I haven't made any of them because I just don't see any value for myself. And I generally make things that are useful to myself. And I don't see anything there that really excites me and thinks, oh, geez, I really need to have that.
Well, maybe the fire spirits will perk you up a little bit more. Let's find out. Incense Burners aren't the only change we're making to fire making. We're also making some quality of life changes to fire spirits. An audio cue will now play when a fire spirit spawns. Fire spirits will now display a timer counted down to when they despawn. Upon catching a fire spirit, they will now be placed in your inventory. When caught, the next few logs cut will give an extra fire-making XP. The Divine Fire Spirit will provide both fire-making and divination XP. Fire spirits will now specify which log they are from. Higher tier logs give better rewards. Clue scrolls have been added to the table. So you catch an actual physical object now, and then you have to open them like a little casket, sort of?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is a great idea.
Yeah, I like
because
that.
It doesn't also clicking on them is like clicking on the Terran Spirit. It doesn't interrupt your fire making.
Good.
You just click on it, it just appears straight in there. So there's this one I am excited about. I do like this one. I think it's a very good one. I wish they had have done this before I went to the fire making.
I was 120 fire making.
But still, this is I think this is a very good update on this one.
I still have to go to 120. I still have to go to 200 mil rather. So
and the fact that better logs give better rewards is a great thing as well.
Definitely. So there's an incentive to not just grind out maple all the way to 200 million.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's a great thing. Moving along, also mildly excited. I haven't tried this yet, and I really should.
I forgot this was coming in.
I didn't forget. I just didn't know it was in. I thought it was coming next week.
No. Yeah, that's
But,
that.
but there is no next week, is there? Or is there? No, next week is actually April 1st. So that wouldn't be possible because Sunday is the 31st. Anyway, new Slayer dungeon. We always knew the Slayer Tower was a bit rickety, but we never expected to find fully stocked resource dungeon in the foundations. The new resource dungeon requires 100 dungeoneering to enter and features 4 chambers full of abyssal demons and dark beasts. To keep things fair, you'll only be able to use cannons on the dark beasts. Oh, you can bring cannons in!
No!
And it's
Oh,
for the
you
dark
fucking idiots.
beasts! And it's
You
just
fucking
for the
idiots.
dark beasts! Oh! Ah!
What's that week, Runely?
That's
Sorry, I'm sorry for dropping the F-bomb,
No, that's
but
fine. I don't mind.
that is absolute bullshit.
They deserve that. That's an
They
F-bomb worthy.
ruined.
Why would they do that?
They said they weren't going to do this.
Why would they
Why
allow
did they
cannons?
turn around and go back on it?
Why?
Idiots.
Not in the mood to walk all the way to Mortania. No worries. The Dungeoneering Achievement Cape will teleport you there. Abyssal Demon Masks and Dark Beast Mask all include a teleport to the new dungeon. Not that you probably want to do them for Dark Beasts, because people are going to be freaking bringing cannons down there, I'd assume. Anyway.
Maybe that's why no one's been at the... Because I've been doing a bit of normal Dark... I did 10 hours of normal Dark Beast this week, and I only got sort of... Well, I had one dickhead drop a cannon, but I only got sort of crashed twice other than that, where I just had to sort of move to the other room for a little while. But, yeah, I can't believe... They said they were not going to have cannons down there, and now they've turned around and changed it. That is ridiculous. I mean, and you can say, well, we can't have cannons down there because they destroy the foundation and knock the whole tower down. There's your law behind it. Why you can't have cannons and do it?
Get cannon in the foundation. That doesn't make any sense. The vibration alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
4 chambers is good. What I would have liked to have seen is, 2 of the chambers have the 100 dungeoneering, and the other 2 maybe have 105, 107 dungeoneering, just to make it a little bit more elite in there.
Yeah.
But they've just destroyed this entire update for me by allowing cannons.
As I read that, I did not know that. As I read that sentence, I was like, what the hell am I reading?
They said they would not be having cannons in there when they talked about it.
Yeah, that
initially.
is ridiculous. I know, I didn't even... Wow. Also, Angel of Death changes and fixes. We thought it was about time to give our favorite Zerosian general some love, so this update is bringing some much-needed updates to Nex Angel of Death. Kill timers will now be wiped on login. No worries for me. Kill timers will now only be tracked with 7 people or fewer. When each of the mage minions die, they will now shout a message and will appear in your chat to show the order in which they died in. Nex will now be attackable while she is phasing, which allows players to build adrenaline and keep seamless combat. Damage is reduced by 99% during phasing. The health of Icicle Slam Icicle has been reduced by 20,000, down from 100,000. Icicle Bleed is now applied after 6 seconds of being under the icicle. Players will be placed in the room instead of on the ledge when entering the instance. If the fight has already started, players will be placed on the ledge to spectate. A leave option has been added to the flowing energy. Nex can spawn multiple shadow orbs in the same location, which means they can stack and do more damage per tick the longer you wait there. The ice closing around the edges of the arena in Phase 1 have been removed. It was causing major FPS drops when spawning in. The fog has also been reduced. The banners that mages use will now also be unlocked when unlocking the outfit. A login check has been added to give players the banner if they already have the outfit. A quick exit option has been added to the pillar at the end of the fight. Movement abilities will be taken off cooldown when the icicle is killed or removed, allowing players to get back into the fight. All players can now roll on a unique instead of a 1 unique per kill. Nex will no longer cleave with her melee hit. If Nex attacks with magic, she will hit the main tank after 3 cycles, allowing them to react and switch prayer. Nex will no longer re-aggro after any of her attacks or phasing. If the player dies, Nex will no longer re-aggro onto another player unless it is the tank that died. Players are no longer punished for killing Nex with less than 7 players in regards to drop rate. Drop rate will be 142 times the player count in the room. The off-tank will roll has been removed and replaced with a DPS roll.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is great for all the people who do Next. So one thing, all players can now roll on a unique instead of 1 unique per kill. That should increase the drops now. So if you're going in there with a team of 4, there's actually 4 rolls on those unique now rather than just 1. That should make it a little more profitable to do as sort of teams when you're doing sort of loot share and things like that, splitting the loot at the end of it.
Hopefully see more items in the game too.
And I was going to say it'll bring more of those items in the game, which will sort of bring the prices down a bit for the regular players to buy as well.
I'd love to see more appraisal items in the game. I still don't have seismic stuff just because I'm like lazy and cheap.
Oh, David told me when they had dropped in price. I got one for 105 mil and the other one for 97 mil.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm waiting for. I just don't care. I just don't need them.
Yeah. Well, neither do I. I mean, they're just sitting in my bank, really. So I generally just always use my Nox staff, but I should start using them a bit more because it is quicker, I believe.
It is, yeah. It's slightly higher DPS. There are more other PVM fixes here. Legendary Pet Scavenge ability now chooses the most expensive item from a pile of loot instead of a random one.
Update of the year.
Yep, right there. That is the best. Dungeoneering Boss Stomp is now insta-killed when placing a final set of crystals instead of waiting for the current phase to end. Second update of the year. The Ricochet ranged ability now targets second opponents at range 6 up from 4.
That's another good one.
6 Days Circuit teleports to torment demons now.
Oh, that's good.
Remora's Necklace teleports is now unlimited. Group may now enter Liberation of Mazcab in practice mode for initial NPC Horde, Beastmaster Durzag, Yakamaru, or Yakamaru Mirage phase. Maybe I'll actually get to learn how to do Yakamaru.
Just go sit in the corner and eat with David.
I want to actually learn how to do it.
I know. So do I.
Patch notes. Hot air balloons can now use a charge system to travel. Higher tier logs count for more charges. Up to 4,000 can be stored by giving logs to the balloon assistants. Now that you've got more fuel in there, balloon travel no longer has an inventory weight limit. There is a new camera mode, Freedom, which allows more extreme camera angles and zoom levels as well. And as always, if you're interested in lifting the curtain, there's more patch notes if you click into this link here. Blah, blah, blah,
I had a quick look in there. There was not a whole... I mean, that they've basically, in the patch notes, what they mentioned there, the hot air such is pretty much the only exciting things in those patch notes.
Indeed. I don't think that's all that I care about from this document. So let's continue on, shall we? This next one is the big question Q&A, the TLDW. Now, I didn't actually watch this because the big questions, if these are the big questions for 2019, I'm glad I'm starting to learn Eve. Because these are not big questions. These are just pathetic questions. But anyway, big questions apparently. Maud Osborne was back and he looked kind of sad. It was good to see him, though. Pyrnassius, do you think should we read this again?
Well, the Portable Victor Trader we've just already spoken about, so we don't really need to bring that on. It is a 4-week trial, as we said, 23rd of April to the 26th of May. Everything else in there we've already gone over.
Free to play games.
The May weekends I do like. We like the idea of taking the voice of Seren effects and expanding it into the game world. The idea of having certain skills or category of skills in focus in a given time, increased XP, winter weekend style bonuses, but during certain hours or time periods, and then it moves on to another. Hopefully we get people jack of all trading, moving from one skill to another over the course of the day. Similar
cool.
overlay to the El City trial, keeping things fresh. Winter weekends are not being replaced by this. So
This is cool.
I love that idea.
Me too.
Remember the old Mad May and the Super Septembers they used to do?
Yeah, I loved those.
I used to love those.
Me
So, again, this suits my game style of play.
Same.
Where, I get bored for an hour, so I'll move on to something else. So this is perfect for me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I had to get all the way through April, apparently, but still sounds cool. The Aura sale we touched briefly
covered.
on. Player support we've brutally covered. Mobile, we can see what they have to say about mobile. Some mobile updates have affected desktop gameplay. Is there more of a plan to stop this happening as much? We've been talking about that a lot today. There will be things that we are trying to tackle that we have an impact on desktop, but are trying to be really careful that things that change the way people play the game. If there's anything that's going on to impact systems and the way people are used to doing things, then we'll be very careful to get that in front of people to have a look at, and then we'll talk about it rather than dropping it into the game. Where we have done that, we hold our hands up and say sorry, and that was unintentional. So they want to not do that in the future. It sounds like is what they're saying. Good.
Exactly. There's been a couple of little things there, and I mean, we need mobile out, and as much as those little things, piss us off occasionally and such, I'd rather have that happen for a week or two than they sort of do the hot fixes and such on it. But, we need to make sure that we get mobile right and get it out there in the hands of the players.
Yeah. If there are any mobile changes that you do want for desktop, please do tell us. The intention is to have both iOS and Android versions on launch, so iOS will happen. Can't give a date on iOS beta, but it's in development and coming along really well. That's good to hear.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Still the sad thing, no date, though. Can I say?
No
we're
date,
hoping to have it out by June. We're hoping to have it out, end of May. Just something for a little
anything.
But then as soon as they do that, though, the scrubs will sit there and start crying when it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So I can understand them not doing that, but...
Yeah. The intention, let's see, what's next for Android? User interface refining and talking the challenges of that. So much of the game that needs to be looked at to work well on mobile. Make sure the whole thing look more alive and modern in a respectful way. All good ideas, all things. So basically what they're saying is they're just in polish mode for Android at this point, it sounds like. Which I would agree. Feels mostly done. They just need to kind of make the interfaces flow better. But most of it, I mean, they're doing a good job. It's definitely feels a lot better than when it started. Holy crap, does it feel a lot better than when it started.
It's part of the reason I want to sort of switch over to the Google Pixel 3 too, because I can just access mobile right now.
Yeah, I'm just go friggin' buy one.
I'm very, very tempted once I've got a few bills to catch up on, and then I'm very tempted to upgrade.
Put it on the plan,
Patreon. Get me to a phone, and I'll start doing live streams. Moving on.
Just live stream 24/7 for a phone. Do it. Let's see here. Mobile.
Yeah. The general, they got the Stone Spirit design is in the works. Now, I actually sent out a question to RSB&B podcast a couple of weeks ago about this very thing, about Stone Spirits. I love, I like Stone Spirits. I use them all the time and such. One thing, obviously, I'd like to see them perhaps removed from boss drops. They're fine on a Slayer drop table. I don't think they're right for a boss drop. I do agree with sort of the PVM community on that side of things. But one thing I'd love to see on this redesign, I break down components generally and get all those to make my own springs and things like that. Now, springs need subtle components, which come into the games from whips and scimitars. Now, in the old days, I could make an inventory full of Addy scimitars. They take 2 bars. 14 would be made in 15, 20 seconds. Now, to make one adamant scimitar takes about 30 seconds. So I'd make 14 in half the time that it takes me to make one now. Stone spirits, what I would love to see is they're used to make a corrupted salvage, which you can make, a corrupted medium, a corrupted, corrupted bladed, corrupted plated, whatever, corrupted spiky, whatever you want to do, that has no elk value, but is used purely to make and break down 4 components. Okay. These could be tradable on the Grand Exchange for people. So, David wants to go and get himself a whole heap. He doesn't have to sit there and make them himself. He can go and buy corrupted, bladed salvage, chuck into his machine in an invention guild, let it break down for him while he's away and not have to worry about it, and get those components that he needs for whatever. And it goes back to making it in the same time as the old smithing used to do. So you're using the stone spirits, they just bang. If I'm making medium bladed, it takes 2 stone spirits. If I'm making something like the huge plated, it's going to take 5 spirits. But I would love to see them go to that type of thing. I think that would bring a lot of value into stone spirits and fill a big gap that is happening for invention. The rarer invention components.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. That would actually bring stone spirits up to par as a valuable drop if you could just kind of turn them into any component you needed.
Yeah. And again, they can do it the same way. Yeah, you've got to make it. And it still has that process
and do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It still has the same the 3% chance at the rare components, the 5% at the uncommon, and the 80% at the other ones and things like that. But it gives a use to them. It gives us a chance to get those components back again and start producing our own products again. Be really useful for Iron Men, but still for people who like to be self-sufficient, and it gives a proper money making method again for smithers, where we didn't get that money making item that that sort of they were jumping up and down about in their masterwork armor, which I always thought was never going to happen anyway. But that doesn't make money. But it gives that opportunity for smithers to make a bit of money out of that.
I would love to see smithers actually make some money. It's really what put me off of RuneScape for Q1 was this mining and smithing update. Mainly the smithing portion of it. Mining, love it. Mining did great. Mining A+, 10 out of 10. Love it to death. Smithing feels great.
Yeah, I love the feel of it all, but yeah.
But yeah, the mechanics of it are not where they need to be. And unfortunately, I think stone spirits, though they are a mining mechanic, are heavily contingent on the success of both invention and smithing. So there's value there, and I think that I think you're onto something. I think you've kind of curated a valuable idea here. So, good. Glad we've.
I should write it up.
I'm glad.
On Reddit.
Yeah, I'm glad we've given light to it here, and I think you should bring it up on Reddit. I think it would probably garner some upvotes. If it does, then we can bring the Reddit topic up again next week. Let's see. Is there anything else in this? Where are we going? Mobile. Did I finish mobile?
Yeah, no, General. There's still a lot to do for the rest of the year. They're looking player experience. You'll see a lot of changes throughout the year for the first user experience, especially leading up to the full commercial launch of mobile. Post-tutorial is really important to look at, so we'll be focusing on that. If it goes well, we may look at going back to the tutorial. One thing they need to do, Thieves, one of our listeners, has made a new account, an Iron Man account, and he's saying every time he locks in, you get the flashing arrow and all that on to do different things. There's no way to turn that off. He said his level, he's base 17, I think he said, on everything. But it still keeps flashing on and telling him to do this, do that type thing. As an older player who's just got another account, that should be you should be able to turn that off if you don't want to have that happening. Yeah. So hopefully that's one thing that they look at. So yeah, that was that. There. What if mobile doesn't bring in as many players as we hope? We're pretty confident, but if you look at the launch of OSRS Mobile and how well that's done, we've got really good data on how it performed. All indicators are that we'll see good numbers of new players incoming. We're hoping that RS will do even better than OSRS. So that's a big call, and I mean, personally, I'd love to see that too.
That's what I have been saying. I mean, there's more, but literally, take this thought into consideration. There are people out there playing old school RuneScape right now that are playing old school RuneScape because RuneScape 3 isn't out yet.
Yep. But my thing is, if they've got an RS3 account, great. But if you've come in, you've started a new account, you've built up all your stats on old school, are you really going to then convert over to RS and start from the beginning all over again?
Nope. Yes, because I know tons of people that already have accounts, and they're just they don't care. They are literally just shitting around, waiting.
Yeah. And that's fine for those people, but new players. If you've come in as a new player and you've just spent the last 6 months, you've made one account, you've started on OSRS, you're not going to come and start again.
Maybe
that's
the intrigue of a new game may or may not, because you already here's the thing.
Fingers crossed.
You are already
You've
paying
already got
for
the account.
it. Yeah, you're already paying for membership. So you already paid for you're already paying for this game that looks way better than the game you're already playing. Why wouldn't you check out this game you're already paying for?
And that is probably the best argument against my, my argument that they should be 2 separate games with 2 separate memberships now is that very reason of mobile. Is probably the very best argument against that. So
is the cross? Is the crossbreeding? It's the only time that I condone incest is right now.
Actually, while we are talking about that type of thing, can I just throw out a little promo?
Yes.
For Thieves,
for
he started. Yeah, no. Thieves has actually started an Iron Man account on RS3 Legacy only mode.
Yes.
The main reason he is doing it is to show old school players that RS3 is still a viable, legitimate game to play with the old combat system if you want to.
Okay.
Now, he contacted me earlier today and said, cool. Hey, when I get up a bit, I want to go and start doing some bosses. Will you come along with me? And I'm thinking, I start typing, that's fine as long as I don't have to use Legacy. And he says, the only caveat is you'll need to use Legacy. And I said, no, mate, there's no way I'm going to do it. And then he explained to me the reason he's doing this series is to show old school players, look, we've got this great game. You've got a few new bosses. They are, you are able to do them. God Wars Dungeon 2 and all that with Legacy mode if you've got a couple of players and things like that. So he actually, although I have said I will never ever touch Legacy mode, I will, in helping him out, go and do that because I think it is a great idea. And this is the type of thing we need to show. And he's not putting any hate on OSRS. He's just showing an option to those OSRS players who hate EOC that Legacy is a very viable option over here. And we already know that at things like Dark Beasts and a lot of Slayer creatures, Legacy mode is actually outdoes Revolution. So
I just
want to give a little shout out. Awesome. His name in game is Tufa, TWO-FER. He is in our clan chat a lot, so if you want to ask him about it, he can give you the name and such of it. But a really interesting idea, I thought. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Is he doing a series, or is he literally?
He's doing a video series, a YouTube series on it.
Cool.
So yeah,
that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, and the main reason he's doing it is to get the promotion out there of RS3 over OSRS in functionality of Legacy fighting. So
Thieves is awesome.
I thought it was a great idea.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I love Thieves. He's one of my...
And while we are doing that type of thing, I went out and got my first Slayer task off Mandrith yesterday.
Yeah.
Went and got my bounty token because I will be next week starting my series. Probably take a few weeks to get out my my first episode and such, but next week I am going to start in the wilderness.
Can I be included?
Yeah.
I want.
You can be included. We can do some.
I want to do some Wilderness Slayer. I haven't done any yet. I need to though. I'm nervous, but
you don't have any bounty points, so just go and get one of the easy tasks first. Blow it out of the way so you get your little bounty emblem.
Yep.
I got 71 blue dragons, which I knocked out in about 6 minutes. because it took me one dose of. I didn't even use that. I forgot my anti-fire. But you kill them, you two-hit them every time.
Yeah,
so basically,
they don't even get to use their special.
No, that's it.
Black dragons,
yeah, that took me 6 minutes something. Yeah. So just pick up an easy task away, and then we can start like that.
Yeah, okay. I would love to do that. Just
I'll be keeping counts on basically because I'm doing it. It's going to be called Wilderness Warrior. Offer the last Wilderness Warrior I did, but hunting the Revenant pets, and I want to try and collect all the pets. So I'll be keeping tallies on PV, on PKs. How many come, how many times I die, and because of that guy who I killed last time, and I was quite proud of myself when he attacked me. I'm going to keep a tally of how many of them I can actually kill as well.
That sounds fun. All right, we got to talk after the show because I want to talk about how I can incorporate myself into this next week.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. No, I'm noting that right now in the brain. All right, let's finish up this document here.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, not at all.
No. Now, summer update. Yeah, summer update. We'll pick the right time to release more info. I'm sure there'll be a kind of Road to X hype to get you excited about. So they're not releasing it too early to get the hype up and then sort of have it fade away. So I like that idea that they release it a bit closer to the time.
Yeah,
good idea. Kerapac and Jazz Quest. We haven't got anything in the works for them yet, but we have got a core series of stories to tell in the near future. Love to hear that.
Me too. I love Kerapac.
Yeah. If the players are expecting us to rewrite the tick system, that's not going to happen. However, we would like to improve the responsiveness because there are things that can be done with Game Engine to improve that, but not messing with any timings of ticks. This is still a massive project and something we'd like to do, but don't expect it.
Yeah.
Reworks are always in consideration when we make plans. Currently, no big plans to do big ones like skill reworks, but maybe some smaller reworks like Comp Cape. We have more skill improvements like Incense Burners. We don't expect the huge positive response we got from the mining smithing rework. I love what it's done to the community. Now, again, you love what it's done to the community. It has improved both those skills. Now, there are some hiccups, as we know, with the money making on smithing, but overall, it was a super successful update. So why not look at doing more?
If you take the mining and smithing update, cram it together overall, from 1 to 10, it's an 8.5. It's great.
Yeah,
they did great.
I mean, I still like the mining. I give mining 10 out of 10. Smithing, I still give an 8 out of 10 personally. The only thing, as I said, I would love to be able to do is create, make a product that I can get my own components from, and if you can give me that, you've got another 10 out of 10 off me for it. So. It'll be really interesting to see what happens and how they do that. But it's all good stuff coming forward. So as we said, though, we'll just wait and see. But I just hate it when they say, "Oh yeah, it was really successful," but we don't want to really do another one because it's like, well, if it's successful. Just because some PVMers jumped up and down about it doesn't mean that you just can the rest of us. Anyway, going on, we like to, where possible, create community experiences. We have some smaller stuff coming out in the near future for clans. April's month ahead will address this. When we speak about ideas and they gain traction, they then become expectations. Even projects that are in the works we haven't said anything about until we are confident that they will be released. There have been instances in the past where we've worked on a project, got excited about it, and started talking about it, like the bank rework. So, again, for our show, we love to have all information. I can understand there's sort of once bitten, twice shy attitude with a lot of that type of stuff. Sadly, when things do have to be shelved or canned completely, the community can get sort of quite upset about it. So, I understand why they do that. There's certain things we want to show, design documents, etc., to get player feedback on. So we need to find the sweet spot. Are there any plans to increase the player save file so we can get more action bars, bank space, etc.? Not all of those are related to the bank player save file limit. We did do it last year, and there was some extra bank boosters. A lot of the technical issues is actually on the amount of time it takes to open the bank, loading each item. It's not as efficient as it should or could be. And okay, I can sort of understand that on the bank side of things, but action bars and such, I really would like to see more action bars, so you can I can have a proper skilling one. I can have a dual wielding, a two-handed weapon for each one. Yeah, presets. Oh yeah, presets for sure. Presets are one of the, and I want the presets to draw from Diango when they're there.
Right.
That is just one of the things that I would love. Anyway, we are talking a little about how to resolve the wilderness. There are those that want to reclaim the unused space in the wilderness, and a minority that want us to finally get PvP done right. A very small minority. That's right. I mean, and that is, the wilderness takes up such a huge part of the map. A lot of it is wasted area, and they do really need to do something about that, I think. Mod Hunter has been pitching a wilderness death rework. Instead of dropping your items, you drop the amount of gold it would take to reclaim your items from death. You have to have that amount of coins on your person, or you can't engage in PvP. Players who die would effectively pay their death costs twice. Would love player feedback on it. A post will be made. There will be nuances and exceptions.
Mod Hunter,
so,
I love you.
So finally, he's listening to RuneScape Weekly and finally looking at bringing in that type of thing.
I love that. So, yeah, you drop your coins and then you go to death and you reclaim your items there too.
And you just go to Coden and he says, okay, you need to be gold. Otherwise, when you die, you've got to pay death twice, because they'll still drop the thing, but then you've got to pay double the amount at death. So you carry the gold there, or just pay it through death, and that's fine. I mean, I don't mind that at all.
That's great.
OSRS updates in RS3. No to Fossil Island. Moving rooms is easier in OSRS than RS3. If it happened, it's a huge amount of work and would likely come with a full construction rework, which is not off the cards. And that is the one thing that would be my skill for the next rework, would be construction.
Yeah, I would love to have construction reworked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it's my preference, but I would love, if that was the one chosen, I would be like, sweet. That it's high on my list.
Yeah,
top 3.
Rework it, make it useful. Why am I building things and doing all that? Fire making now has a use. It's got those herb burn. I think one thing
Old school RuneScape's housing system is so cool.
It is, yeah. One thing about the fire making update, I think the 3 burner option should have been done at level 96 or 97. Give you a reason to get it up into those higher ones. I think 95 is a little low, but anyway, I mean, that's
yeah. There's no real achievement for getting 99.
No, you need a 99 achievement. I think every skill needs an actual 99 achievement. Why am I getting 99?
Cape is just the cape is not, cape is something, but there should be a tangible I can make something at 99.
Make it so I can light 4 burners at 99. That's the reason to get 90. Or give a little buff to those burners. Instead of lasting 6 minutes, they last 8 minutes if I've got 99. You can make a stronger one because it's, you got 99, but, just something for having 99. Anyway, placeholders have taken a different route because the OSRS way of doing it is impossible. So they can't do it the same as OSRS, unfortunately.
I don't have to do the same. Just look at their model and copy the here's the thing.
I think it has to do with the amount of items, though, because basically the OSRS, all they really did was double down on the amount of items and make one of them like a ghost item and one of them the main item, because we have so many more items and it doesn't fit into, there's more items than there is actual allowable
so what I'm saying,
item numbers in the game.
What I'm saying is, I understand the old school RuneScape fix doesn't you can't just copy and paste the code. It's not the same game.
Yeah,
we want the same outcome. Your programmers Figure it out. We want the same outcome, not the same code. I get
Move
it.
away from 32-bit up to 64-bit, and you can, increase those limits.
Just figure it out. Make it work. We want the same thing. Just because it doesn't work when you take the same code and move it over doesn't mean it's impossible. Think outside the box. Jesus, did you all go to public university? I'm sorry. I went to public university.
Okay, woodcutting and hunter elite outfits will be released with appropriate content. Hunter outfit is in the works, so I thought it was already here, the hunter one. So I apologise earlier when I said about that herb burner not being that useful if you've got the hunter outfit. It's not in the game yet, so that'll be good for them.
Indeed.
120 summoning, still on the backlog. We'd love for it not to be the pouch making skill. Maybe 99 to 120 is trained a different way. Using your familiars for XP seems the most sensible. Too bad it isn't like that right now. And yeah, I would like to see cross-breeding of pouches. Give you a yak that can fight, or a titan that can hold products in an extra backpack. It doesn't have to be 30 items. Give it 15 items that it carries in its own little backpack, or things like that.
I want a sea-bearing animal that I can ride out into the ocean and fish.
that we ride out to see the sick sea monster.
Yeah.
The ailing sea monster. Actually, I still got to put that up on Reddit too.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of things I've got to do.
A lot of stuff. In your own time, you got a lot on your plate.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to forget everything at the moment. So anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, moving along.
Combat diversity update is going to happen. Time frame wise, it isn't going to be in the next couple of months. We want to beta it. No beta scheduled for any content at the moment. Comcape rework core design has two things that need to be resolved. A lot of players feel it's too complex. A lot of players feel it isn't solving the problems that need to be solved. We will strip the design down to its simplest elements, releasing a vlog on the core things when what we want to do. In-game survey on the core design, then it's make or break. If there are core elements that players don't want, if we can salvage the rework, etc. If there is a fundamental turn against it, then we'll ditch the rework.
Wow.
I think people are just getting too upset about stupid things.
Yeah.
The passives, if you unlock it, it's on your person, and I can have a cape, is a fantastic idea. That'll bring back things rather than having to have the comp cape. The comp cape is now just going to be a cosmetic. I love there were 18 different sort of cosmetic style capes. But you unlocked passives on it. But I could then go to get, the best caping game, the best combat caping game from, down in the Tsar caves. Fight them, get your cape, bang, and it adds, as you go up in levels, it adds to that cape. That gave them an opportunity to bring, the next boss that come out could have a cape that would have higher stats. It'll have a 45, and then you still get your plus 11 or plus 12 off the other one. I thought that was a fantastic idea they had. It looked convoluted. I don't think, again, the general complaint we have with Jagex is they don't explain things properly or succinctly enough. I really thought that they were on a good a good wicket with what they were doing, and I really think that they've sort of let themselves go a bit in just not explaining properly, which hurts. And if they're going to ditch the rework, I am going to be very, very sad if again that minority vocal get to cry and rant and rave and stop something that is truly needed in game.
Yeah, it's a shame if this is going to die, but continue.
Yep. Okay, the next boss we want to release is going to be solo. So they are looking at a new solo boss, so that's good. We're quite a way off T99 gear. Combat diversity will help horizontally. T99 is off a couple of years at least. 120 combat skills boggles the mind because we need to fill the gaps with gear as well as enough combat encounters to use that level of power. Why the hesitation to re-release the Magebit Aura? Because you should never do it in the first place. Because we said we weren't going to, it was a bit overpowered on balancing the game. We might reopen it during an Aura rework. That might be a conversation we have. It could even come back in a different form. Just don't do it all together. You said it was going away, leave it away. Stop kowtowing to the whiners. A lot of familiarity between future content surveys / things we've promised, the upcoming release schedule. We could do with refreshing the backlog, so we may be talking to you about it soon. So they keep promising surveys and then sort of never do them, so they might do some soon.
I mean, that's the thing. They promise stuff and then don't do it. That's why I read that document early in the
show. I know. Skilling intensity. Anything more than safe cracking, mining, fishing frenzy? Yes, I can think of a particular update in the works that really does nail this. Fishing Frenzy was flawed. It's the least played deep sea fishing content. It hits the bitter spot between intensity and boredom and grinding. Effort versus reward is not worth it. And we sort of said that at the start. It's sort of, it was too intense, that one, and you don't get a whole lot out of it. Hall of Memories, half got it right, but still there's elements that sit in that spot. I really liked Hall of Memories. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Rocketunities and a lot of what mining and smithing does, a little bit of strategy. We feel like we're getting it right. We're pushing the boat out, and there's going to be something truly innovative in this space in the next 3 to 4 months. So that's interesting.
Huh. Farming
we don't have...
Sorry.
Yeah, oh, yeah. But I think with the farming rework, I think they just can I please have a poo collector in my farm. I just want someone to pick up all the drag. I don't want the E for it. I just want the poo, so I can go and make it into the compost.
That's all anyone wants.
I've never
wanted poop so badly.
I was just sitting there watching all these, these 350, 400 XP drops, picking up the dragon poo, going,
just
but I don't want the
XP.
I'm gonna get to 200 mil way too quick.
Just pick the poop up.
We don't have any date for the Java client being discontinued. We want to make Java users to move over to NXT in a nice way. Find out why, etc. Very small percentage use Java. Engine updates coming fairly soon to NXT will help the transition. We're definitely closing the stages. I'm sorry, if they're using Java, kick them in the nuts and tell them to get over there.
Java is a waste of... You should only be using Java if you're in a business environment.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I mean, for the gaming, and I mean, I'm sorry, if your computer cannot play NXT, I mean, it's from 1999.
It's time for a new computer. Yeah,
exactly.
Come on.
Companion app was discontinued because it's in HTML5. I told you that, didn't I? I said it was because it was HTML5. Yeah. Every time we make an update that affects chat, etc., we have to make sure it works on the companion, which was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Removal of Java and companion will speed up development.
Good.
Death Touch darts not able to be used on Teles is in Q&A. Sign refreshers only being usable at banks is in the works, but not as imminent as Death Touch darts. Communication will go out ahead of time of when these will be released. We acknowledge that the Divomatic changes came out of the blue, but was still very much appreciated. No player name cleanup planned. There were issues with the last one. It may still happen in the future, but there's an orientation towards a lot of people coming back to their old accounts. And that's, I think, is a very good idea. With mobile coming up, don't because that'll piss people off if they've lost their name.
Yeah. Not a
good time.
I
agree with that.
Not a good time.
Yeah. Not for definite, but we've been talking about a rare item store refresh, and I would love to see that.
I've been hanging on to my token specifically for that.
Yeah, me too. Group Iron Man. It's not a no. It's not on the shelf. It's one of those updates where we're not about to release it, so we don't want to say too much. OSRS also wants it, and they're looking for engine changes that will help precipitate that, and that benefits us too. Probably going to release it on both games at the same time. Again, it's an oxymoron. Group Iron Man just doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
Have fun.
Yeah. Text scaling and font sizes is something on our backlog. We had to look at it for mobile. I don't know the current status of it, but I was asked fairly recently if we still want it, and I said yes, unsure where the priority lies for it. I think just as a usability thing, as monitors, are getting, you've got 4K monitors now, haven't you?
One of them is 4K, yes.
Yeah, I mean, trying to read on that. I mean, there are a lot of people who
My
have
my main monitor to read what I'm reading to read Reddit. My monitor is at 260% magnification. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I really do think they need, that is something they need to take priority of, and say, you know, just even for. I mean, they're big on their Game Blast to help help disadvantaged players and disabled players. There are a lot of players can't play games because they can't see the screen properly, and if you can't read everything on there because it's so small, that disadvantages a lot of people and will stop them playing. So I do think if you get that right, that will help bring in some extra players too, because you'll have, hey, listen, a lot of those have their own community. Hey, listen, I've found this game RuneScape. I can read it. You can play it easily and bring in some extra players that way.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. Skilling Boss, nothing in the works. Have I got a design for you?
Yeah, it's good too.
Our asset management, and spoken about previously, has slowed down graphical reworks for now, but will greatly benefit from it in the future. There is an area being graphically reworked at the moment. Oh, please let it be Karamja.
Oh, that'd be great. I'll do no evil if it's Karamja.
No plan for a virtual 120 all cape. Could be a consideration. Our main concern is by making a cape that is a goal post we are setting for people to achieve. But that's what we want. We want goalposts. We want things to achieve. That's the whole point behind everything.
I thought that's the point of an MMORPG, was to set goals and achieve them.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
What are we playing this game for?
That is the stupidest thing I have heard. Oh, it's setting a goalpost, and forcing people to achieve. That's what we want.
We don't want to force people to achieve, but
no,
I don't know. Whatever. Maybe I wasn't reading the. What was the? Read it for me again. Hang on.
They said there's no plans for the virtual 120 all cape. It could be in consideration, but our main concern is by making a cape is that that the goalpost we are setting for people to achieve. Oh. So they're afraid to make it because it's setting a goalpost for people. But I want that goalpost.
Yeah, but
that's what I want.
The XP rates are so high anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
you already have 120 capes. Like, what's the point?
I busted my ass to get my Master Quest cape. I did a lot of content I didn't want to do in PVM type stuff where I had to go and do some group stuff. Thank you, David, once again. But I wanted that cape so bad that I actually did stuff to do it.
And I can say the same thing about all these 120s, but no one forced me to do that. And
that's right. You wanted to do it.
I can't claim. I'm not entitled to a cape, but I certainly would. I think I deserve one. Yes, but am I entitled to one? No.
No. And I think if you get all 120s, you deserve a cape.
I think I deserve one. Yes, but am I entitled to one? No.
Well, no one's entitled to anything really in the game.
So I'm not going to bitch about it, but I'm going to complain about it. It's slightly different.
Deserving.
Yes.
I think it's deserving for the effort that you have put in for it.
Yeah, I do think that they should consider a Master Max cape that does absolutely nothing but look amazing. Because it does, I mean, you have an effing cape in the game that makes you sit in Castle Wars for 6 months straight.
While you play other games and just ignore what, you click on the screen every 5 minutes.
And you won't reward
you have players abusing that. You have, when someone goes in to play a proper game of Castle Wars, that everyone jumps on them and abuses them because that's not the way. They stop doing that because we want our points for this cape.
But you won't reward me for playing the game and achieving capes
in it properly. Yeah,
that you have legitimately in the game.
I know, it's silly.
Like.
Anyway.
Yeah, so continue on.
Finally, we have no Spring Fair this year. Easter content is coming, and there will be no April Fool content. April Fools.
They say it. They say that.
Yeah, that's right. That's their April Fool.
That.
So, yeah.
We also will have no April Fool's content.
Number one, no April Fool's content. I don't believe that for 1 second. Yeah, can't fool me, Jamflex. Imagine April Fool's content will be announcing that MTX gets removed. Oh no, that would be funny.
It would be awesome.
We're removing all MTX from the game. Watch ever go, and then April Fools.
It would be awesome if they like just reverted to like Squeal of Hunter, whatever, or they like hybridized it or something. I don't know. Just for one day. Oh, good stuff. That was an interesting document, despite the big questions being, in my opinion, not that big. And questions, I don't know if they were really questions. More so just, I don't know, postulations. Statements. Yeah, these are things.
The big statements.
Yeah, these are things that are gonna happen more than likely soon if we don't fuck up. Let's see. And now I've sworn to. I'm
Onyx
sorry.
Dust is no, it's okay. We've got the post by Ads NZ, and he's gone, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm. It says here in chat. There he is right now. Doop-a-doop boop. It says in, I think right here in staff. Sorry, I'm falling asleep. Peace. 11.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m. over there, so we'll let him go. I won't even pick on him and say he needs to go and cuddle his sheep.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. He gave me a 2.5 hour pre-show that you can get at patreon.com/RuneScape for $1. That's amazing.
And for that, to listen, I mean, I didn't actually hear it, but I mean,
that's like a whole other podcast. It was fun
to listen to him go on about things, and especially when he's got the freedom that the Patreon allows him, would be absolutely awesome.
We were just going off. It's
because we do have to rein him in a little bit on the main game, but on a forum where you just let him go, it'd be absolutely amazing.
Yeah, we weren't even talking RuneScape for a lot of it. It's up right now. I'll put a link in the Twitch chat for anyone.
While you do that, I'll actually read his. I'll read his post. Onyx Dust, it's a thing. I made a post the other day that didn't get many likes. I think I dragged on too long. But a few people did like a portion of my post, including my mates at the RuneScape Weekly podcast, agreeing that it is a solid idea. So here's the main point, plain and simple. Jagex, you literally have Onyx Dust in the game already. Just give out some of that dust at a reasonably balanced rate at the Pyrnassius rocks. You literally have the means to balance it down to the gram. So,
I like the word.
Yeah.
I love that.
I still think, they did the wrong thing. I think a nerf was in place, but this would be a great idea as well. I mean,
taking
don't keep bending the skillers over and shoving a broomstick up their ass every time they get something good.
Exactly. That they didn't need to completely take that out of the game. That was a knee-jerk reaction.
Yep.
But yeah, they could have just lowered, doubled the rate, tripled the rate, quadrupled the rate. 400 was wrong for sure.
Yeah, 400 was way wrong. Yeah,
but
1,000, 2,500, even if they said it was 1 in 10,000, still been happy.
Removing it from the game was also wrong. Onyx Dust as a replacement, really interesting idea.
Yeah, that's it.
I like it.
And again, you could then go back to doing it as a 1 in 400 drop, but it'll take you you need that like 10 or 12 times before you can actually make something useful out of it anyway. So it sort of still then works out to that sort of 1 in 5,000 drop rate or whatever. But anyway, love the idea, and hopefully they do look at something like that.
Indeed. All right. I'm moving along here. Is RuneScape 3 the best MMORPG? This is a really nice breakdown from 5151. It says RuneScape 3 is, in my opinion, the best MMORPG available. And I don't necessarily disagree with them. It says, been playing MMORPGs all my life. No shooters, dungeon crawlers, sports games, MOBA, battle royales, etc. have ever intrigued me to play it for longer than a week. Aeon, Arcage, Cabal, Conquer Online, Dark Eden, Idmon's, Fly FF, Guild Wars, 1.5, Jade Dynasty, 1 or 2. Okay, sure, thank you. You're right. Cal Online, Maple Story, Moo Online, Perfect World, Rose Online, Silk Road, Terra. I'm just trying to see how many of these I recognize. 12 Sky, 1 and 2, I got it right that time. Vindictus, World of Warcraft are just a few to name. I think I knew about like 5 of those. let's see here. Let's see why they say this. A permanent progression, which does not get nullified upon release of a patch. My account is 12 and a half years old. Every hour I have progressively spent is still to this date permanent achievements, which gives a sense of satisfaction. Grinded hundreds of hours for artifact power in World of Warcraft only to have it mean nothing 2 patches later. Power creep is in every MMO an issue at one point. However, it is much more mild in RuneScape 3. You go grind the best in slot in any Korean MMO, spend hundreds of hours within 12 months, I guarantee you it will become fully obsolete. And RuneScape has that problem to a much less degree. It's there, but but it's definitely not as prevalent. Right?
Yeah, even those lower things are still of use. I mean, I still use Bandos armor. It still has a use in game because it's a non-degrading type armor, and it's great for Slayer and things like that. The higher degradable armor you use for bosses, but if you're just doing other things, then that is one of the beauties of this game.
Indeed. I mean, that's another great thing is like you could pick up a set of old armor and it's still relevant in a lot of places where you can go and grind up for, armor that is
make the money for the other one. Exactly.
Relevant and whatnot. And so let's see. A customizable user interface without third-party programs. I like this feature a lot. While I do think the standard UI you can choose from created by Jagex are trash, I would agree 100%, they do give us the ability to fully customize it to our own liking. Plus, they are saved server-side. I put lots of thought and time into creating the UI that works most efficiently for me, and though I lost it after changing PC, but luckily that was not the case. So again, yes, that's a wonderful feature, is they save your layouts not on your PC, but I guess server side? Is that the case?
For custom, yeah. Because I mean, you've got 4 user interfaces that you can sort of lock in for your own. I've got 2 designed for my PC, 2 designed for my laptop. I hope when mobile comes out that we actually get another couple, because even that's not enough. Because there's different things I want to do. I have one when I'm doing my clue scrolls. I have one when I'm PVMing. There's another one for skilling. So love to see maybe a couple more that we can sort of lock in of our own as well once mobile hits.
If you're a hardcore RuneScape player, you might not know other games often require third-party applications.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, to modify the interface, kind of like a toolkit almost, or kind of like Alt-1, but like way more intense. Like they just kind of like
cheaters programs. I mean.
But like they're like legit. They're totally sanctioned. Yeah. Not sanctioned. I hate sanctioned is a bad word, and I use it like it's a good word. I got to stop doing that. They're totally like.
They're allowed.
Yeah, they're allowed, but like in a good way. The game companies are like, yes, you can use these, and they're signed by the company and generally like checked and everything and whatever. Point being is, Jagex, you don't need that. It's all just built right into the client, and that's nice. And some would argue on the flip side, that's also very limiting. You don't get a lot of the customization that some of the other games would offer you in those other clients. But I would say that there's
you get enough.
Yeah, you get enough. Very good learning curve. 12 and a half year old account, and I'm still learning and discovering new things about the game. This ability, mechanic related quality of life issues, game environment discoveries, etc. Easier bosses offering correct mechanics, practices in order to progress further into more difficult bosses, such as Hellware teaching shield and reso switches. Araxor teaches you the value of anticipate and freedom. I think 99% of the community is still trying to practice and learn more about the game, and I think that's a good thing. Keeps the players engaged and gives a sense of satisfaction upon successfully applying that which has been practiced for. So I don't get into the bossing arena much, but it's good to hear that the bosses are well designed. Quests in a true open world. I think we can all agree that in the glory days of RuneScape, the world felt much more alive due to the fact that there were more players. Some games create a fake illusion of an open world with loading screens every 5 minutes every time you walk to a new zone or area. But it's definitely not bad in RuneScape 3, and we don't have the streamlined go kill 20x there and bring me this quests. Instead, they are a true adventure, which I have yet to experience in any other MMO. And
that's the biggest thing that holds me on this game is the quests.
Same. I agree. I've yet to find any other MMO that has really perpetuated the story that RuneScape has been able to do with their quests. They're so robust and
the introduction of lore through quests, I think, is a brilliant way they do things.
A wide range of mini games, of which of them give really useful rewards.
Some of.
Yeah, so it goes with my previous bullet point that these were really notorious in their glory days. While World of Warcraft offers useless stuff from pet battles, Shattered Worlds gives the experience of Nephilim Rift of Diablo 3 and gives Bladed Dive as a reward, which is a very useful ability in almost everything you can do. RuneScape 3 is not perfect, and I can write a shit list about things we all probably hate. But my post is not to bash the game. I prefer not to get into the cons. At the end of the day, I think what truly matters is, do you feel satisfied with the time and effort you put into the game at the end of the day? And when I think about RuneScape 3, I think the answer to that question is yes, every day.
That is awesome. I mean, yeah. There are things I don't like about the game, such, but focusing on those positives and the bits that you do like, I mean, that is the way you should play a game. It is a game. It is something to do for enjoyment.
It is a video.
And when you just see constant, rant after rant after rant, complaint after complaint after complaint, it does bring you down. So it is really, really refreshing to see someone who says, yeah, it has its problems, but let's look at this and point out all those good aspects that it has. And really well written and really, really good.
Indeed. I thought that was a nice little story, a nice little uplifting piece. I know there are definitely... I just started playing EVE Online again, and that is another game that definitely has a lot of RuneScape elements to it, but it definitely does not have the questing system that RuneScape has, I'm pretty sure. It's more along the sandbox line, as far as like it has epic sandboxiness to it, and everything's player made, everything's player run, and it's that game where you hear about like the epic space battles and pirates ripping each other off and crazy stuff like that. But it just seems like a real game that a person with like a mild sociopathic personality would be into, which is why I passed it along to you. And people also call it the RuneScape of space. But I've been the only reason I started playing it again was because like I feel like I'm finally in a place where I have enough patience to actually sit down and learn it, because it's so effing complicated. Kind of like RuneScape is so effing complicated at first if you sit down and you've never looked at it before, like that's the thing about RuneScape is like if you sit down and you've never seen it before, there's so much to look at, right? Like, from a blank interface, you've got to rearrange everything.
Yeah, when I first started RuneScape, it seemed a very simple game initially, but as you did more, it opened more, and it just kept expanding and expanding and expanding, and I think that's what I liked about it. It wasn't confrontational right from the start. It didn't look overwhelming that it was like, oh, wow, I'm coming as a level 1 on this 15-year-old game. I'm not going to be able to do anything in here. It started, I did the little quest with the guy and the dragon, got through that, was put into Lumbridge, worked my way through there, was able then to get up to Varrock, and just those little things as you move more and more and more. And I think it really RuneScape really did that well in that. Yes, it's a big convoluted game, but it's not overwhelming at the start. Now, if you start now, as you said, with all the new interfaces and all that type of stuff, it might, it's probably a much different experience these days.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine starting RuneScape today with zero knowledge, with the NIS in full effect, and I don't know. I mean, I'm comparing it to Eve. Eve has a very similar interface. It's very blank when you start off, and it has a very minimalist interface. But when you really get into it and start, really putting it out, it is extremely complicated.
But again, do you need all that straight away when you first start? Or like RuneScape, the simple one is fine. And then as you become more advanced and learn more, I'll need this.
I've literally just been mining asteroids for the first week, just getting the feel for like how to jump through gates and stuff.
Yeah,
just feeling out how to which camera view to learn. Like people have been like the game doesn't even start you off in like the correct camera mode apparently. That you're like everyone really plays from, and now that I'm playing in the camera mode that apparently like everyone plays in, now I'm like now I get it. Now I understand how to play the game. It makes so much sense now. I understand why I quit 3 times before, because I wasn't playing the game correctly. I was literally like trying to drive a car from the back seat with my hands over the freaking driver freaking back shoulder, trying to grab the handlebars. Like, Christ, like changing the camera just completely changes how you play the game and control your ship. So yeah, it's just a completely different game. So thankfully, it's a different experience now. But anyway, I will continue on to this next post here called "My Opinion on Quote Unquote Pay to Win." This is by Galaxy Shark, and it's got no upvotes. It's holding on at 50%, 49%. I upvoted it to kind of help them out, mainly because I think I don't know, it's got something going on here. It's on the show, so it's got something here. So he says, okay, let me start off by saying some of you might disagree with what I'm about to say. Rather than immediately downvote bombing this, let's use it as a way to spark constructive conversation about game and you're in the wrong place. I don't think you know where you are. Okay, so in recent years...
constructivity.
Okay, so in recent years, and especially in recent months, there have been some certain very quote-unquote overpowered treasure hunter promos like loot duels and phoenix lamps. These promos led to various different videos showing how ridiculous the rewards could be, and everyone kind of went into a frenzy. It might be a bit of an antisocial opinion, but I really don't care about pay to win because I don't really value other people's achievements that much anyway.
Sorry, Did I wake up one night, make a new name RX Galaxy Shark, and come on here and write this?
So you can see that I may have why I pulled this post and put it aside. Insane PVM achievements are still insane. You can't pay to win a T40 solo ambassador kill, and RNG is still RNG. The grind for Jack of all trades is still tough. But is that Jack of all trades? I don't know if I'm...
Yeah.
But I still personally value my own achievements far more than other people's, and therefore...
Master of all is even harder.
Right? If I think that using Treasure Hunter for XP ruins game integrity, I just won't do it. No one is forcing me to, or you, to buy loads of keys. Buying keys for XP is very much like buying leeches for Reaper. If you personally still feel achieved when you get your comp cave, even if you had some help along the way, that is completely fine in my opinion, at least. If you don't think leeching is fair, if you think it ruins the achievements of your cape, just don't do it. Comp is enough of a joke anyway now with some of the weird as F requirements and questionable difficulties. I feel I'm rambling now, so I'll just try and bring it back in. Another Treasure Hunter promo that, in my mind, is the Death Touch Dart one. Yeah, that was weird. I was away from the game for that one. At that point, I was like, why? Everyone immediately lost their shit, thinking there would be not enough and everyone would have Golden Warden. I have two things to say about this situation. We all assumed there would be way more common than they actually were. Maybe they were made rarer based on the outcry, but I don't know. Two, as I said before, your own Warden title has far more impact on your life than someone else's. Whether or not Warden was made easier, or if you got it legit, then you know that. And kudos to you. And just a side note, they're fast-tracking it through, so you can't use Death Touch darts on Telos anymore.
Oh, I better hurry up and get down there and do my Telos kills then.
Yeah, so if you want to Death Touch dart Telos, you better do it like now. It might be gone by Monday.
I don't care. I'll do it the right way. I'll just do it whatever way I can when I get there.
Exactly. Like, learn the boss the correct way. It's not that bad.
It's actually a fun boss.
Again, I personally feel that if someone cares that much about their achievements meaning a lot and being able to show off their Gold Warden title to everyone, it says something about the player. Again, nothing against you for thinking differently to me, but I just think that if you get that much gratification from bragging about your title, then there is a little bit of an issue. If you don't care about showing off your achievements, then you shouldn't care about microtransactions or pay to win. As long as you can get the achievement you want and have no reason to make someone else's game less fun for them. This is getting very rambly now, but I think I've made my point. Before you say it, if you were going to, I've never bought keys. I'm not going to defend myself. I have bought a Solak Leech in my past, and I still feel like comp was an incredible achievement. As I have said before, let's have some constructive discussions below rather than screeching at people. I'll leave this now while I build my bunker to prepare for the inevitable shitstorm from defending microtransactions on Reddit.
I mean, I've always said the same thing. I don't really care. I mean, when you look at the amount of money you have to spend to get, that vast amount of XP in game, my biggest thing is lamps. I would prefer just bonus XP, not straight XP. If we could change that, I'd be happy. Things like those Phoenix lamps. I only use my 3 a day that I got from my dailies. I think I had, in the week it ran, I think I had 3 lamps that saved. That was it. It was no real big issue. Death Touch darts. I think there was a video done where someone bought. No.
I randomly got the pet from the Phoenix event from opening
Excellent.
Phoenix lamps. Yeah. I was like, I didn't even know there was a pet.
Neither did I. So when you said that, hang on. But no, I didn't get any pet. But I mean, that's it. I mean, great if I'm not one to spend money in game to do those things. If I get it free, I get it free. If I don't, I'm not going to pay for it. I do like his comparison there, though, of buying, leeching for your comp cape and buying XP on Treasure Hunter. That is actually a very good, similarity, because no, you're buying XP, you're cheating. Well, if you're buying floors at Dungeoneering to get up, or you're buying kills at raids so you can get your comp cape, while you're not buying bonds and profiting Jagex themselves, you are profiting someone. That essentially is still a transaction. So I do like that analogy he's made there. I think it's very good. Yeah, if you are willing to sit there and spend your GP to pay someone else to beat a boss for you, it's essentially the same thing as paying Jagex a few bucks to get some bonus XP.
Yeah, it's a service. And I mean, it's a gray market service. It's not a black market service. I wouldn't consider it illegal as far as.
Oh no, not illegal at all. It's part of the game. I mean, people do that, and I have no issue with. If someone is good enough to be able to do that and carry someone through who is not really helping out, you got a boss that requires 4 players, and the 3 of you are carrying that 4th person, then you deserve that money. That you've got a skill that you can.
If you can make money off of it, You know,
I can sit there for hours and hours and make potions, and it doesn't bore me. You know, I don't mind doing that. I'm happy to make them and sell them to you. You're happy to sit there and kill a boss and take me along. It's just, you know, it's the same.
I wish I could
really.
if I could just be an overload merchant, I would be so happy.
Yeah, I still want those to be tradable in game.
Just the base ones,
better ones
I would
now.
be happy.
But even if they do the extreme, exactly, even if it's just the extremes, at least open extremes up to being.
Yeah, you're even
tradable.
going one step below me, but I would even be happy. I would even get on my knees and take that.
Base overload. I mean, I don't think the ones from Prifdinus should be. I think they should always be.
That's what I'm saying. Like base
untradable.
Overload's fine.
But
like,
base overloads.
Make base overloads tradable. It's been like 10 years. Come on.
That's it. But even if people sort of complain, "Oh no, that's too that's too much," then okay, then just do start off. Let's do extremes now, and in another few years, let's then open up.
I forgot about extreme. I always forget about extremes when making overloads. So yeah, I mean, start with extremes, and then we'll move to overloads in like 2022 or something.
Because no one really uses. Everyone makes those to make the next one anyway. So.
Exactly.
That's why extremes were originally untradeable, because everyone made the supers, and then you had to make the supers into extremes, and then you had to make the extreme sets into overloads.
Yeah,
which were the untradables. You know, so let's now
waste time.
Everyone now does supreme overloads or supreme overload cells and everything. So allow the base ones to be tradable, so it shortens that time and makes the game fun again for those players who just want a boss, not sit there for hours making potions, and gives herbalists the chance to make some good GP. There's a lot of things they can do to help with money making, which are very simple things, but they just seem to be scared to pull the trigger on them.
Yeah, that's true. They're not pulling the trigger on a lot of our great ideas. Let's see, Onyx Dust, we did that one already. How did I get? Oh, I lost it. Is that really the wrong link somehow? Let me see here.
No, I've got them.
All right, so why we need smeltable salvage and not just for invention, right? That's our next one?
Yep.
All righty. So the mining and smithing rework has come and gone, and we're left with three major problems that are seeming to be far more detrimental to the game than the irrelevance of mining and smithing aside from Magscape was pre-rework. Those problems are as follows. There is no demand for ores, pushing all items to alch value, and keeping smithing from being profitable aside from masterwork creation. 2. Invention components that were previously supplied by smithing resources are nigh impossible to get at a regular rate. Looking at you, bladed components. Number 3, stone spirits are worthless and plague drop tables, adding a lot of unneeded game data that isn't disappearing and pissing off PVMers. So what do you think about those three before I move on? Are those all valid?
Other than, he said, profitable, masterwork creation is still not really profitable for the amount of time that it takes.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you making? A mil, 1.5 mil you make on something that takes you 10 hours to create?
Yeah,
that's
stupid.
not, 100k an hour, really? I mean, sorry, that's not, I don't call that profitable.
Me either.
Basically, what he is saying there is all good. Stone spirits, I mean, the lower ones are worthless because there is still so much addy and rune in game. We need to give it a good 6 or 12 months to get all that out of game before we can see something there. And that's why my suggestion of using them, and maybe... So I was thinking about it a bit more. We still need to make sure the bars are relevant. So maybe if we make that, 1 bar and 3 stone spirits makes your, makes your item and such to break down. But certainly, invention components were always, that they were selling those items on the G was a good way of making money for people who just wanted to buy them, chuck them in an invention machine to break down while they're off doing other things to get their components. Was a fantastic way, and that is gone now. No one does that anymore. I mean, 30 seconds to make 1 item is fantastic in gameplay for XP and such, but as in a money-making method, it's not. Yeah.
The reason we need smeltable salvage is because it can work to really help mitigate at least the first two issues, and if it helps with the first, it may help with the third. Some form of this idea has been presented to Jagex, and they've hinted that they're looking at it, but they've hummed and hawed, and the most we've heard is that Breezy was putting together a design document for perfect salvage that was quickly scrapped. No pun intended. So what is smeltable salvage, and why am I saying smeltable rather than smithable? Salvage needs to do two things. One, provide access to invention components that was previously there before the rework, and two, the ores out of the game in rapid order. Take the ores out of the game, rather. Goal number 2 is why this needs to be smeltable. We need this to not be the same speed as smithing items. It needs to be fast so that it can take ores out of the game ASAP, and you're not sitting there for 10 minutes trying to make a single piece of salvage to dismantle. Using the smelting mechanics makes this fast, providing the ability to make a full inventory of salvage, as smelting speed is a good thing because it keeps people from waiting on their components, as it uses up supplies very quickly. Okay. I like that. That makes sense. So you're using...
And that's, again, the same as I was saying. It's got to be the old speed that we had to do. Just to get those components in, but you get no XP for it. It's not alchable. It's there solely to make break down for components,
and it's draining ore from the game too.
Yep.
So what would my design look like? They say number 1, 5 of each appropriate ore needed to smelt to make the appropriate salvage. You would need 5 of each correct ore, allowing you to make the equivalent of a huge salvage of the type you choose, blunt plated, spiky plated. That makes 1 inventory of salvage. Would take 140 of each necessary ore, which in the case of the Elder Rune, you're looking at 500 total ores per inventory. Number 2, smeltable salvage would give 0 XP in order to maintain normal methods of smithing, as the go-to training methods that needed to be preserved needs to be the certain that there is no way that making salvage can overtake the methods as the go-to XP method. That makes sense, of course. Number 3, it needs to have a high alch value of 0. We need to be certain that the method has no way of injecting actual GP into the game, so there's no easy way to turn ores into GP. Makes sense as well. And to make it tradable, allow people to make salvage for GP. That way, those that just want to buy and disassemble or put it into their auto disassembler don't have to make it themselves if they want to. Allow it to create a market around salvage that is actually driven by supply and demand, rather than allowing it to be dictated by an alch value. The demand for salvage is clearly high, but the alch values of drop salvage are either too high, or the items aren't dropped often enough for people to be able to buy them. Even if it's not economical to make Elder Rune salvage, it will still up the price of Elder Rune bars and ores, because people mining for money and smelting for money will choose other ores, lessening the supply of Animica and other Elder Rune and increasing its price. Number 5. Make it fast to make. By making it fast to make, it puts a high demand on ores. Putting a high demand on ores will increase the value of smithing all around, because you're making the base resource more expensive. This is why the smelting system is what makes sense. It's already equipped to handle the rapid creation of items. You don't need to create a whole new progress system for salvage when you simply create 4 new smeltable items for each tier of ore. By increasing the demand on ores, you're already increasing the value of bars, so the fact that this skips the bar stage should be a non-issue, considering it doesn't give experience and it doesn't give gold. The reason we need something like smeltable salvage is because the rework has left a massive hole in invention. When invention was released, it was designed to do one thing: take care of RuneScape's junk item problem. It did that really well, and in the case of smithed items, it actually took them from being natural value alch price to actually holding value, because the demand was there for components. those items were entering the game via smithing, not drop tables. Now they're not entering the game via smithing. There is no replacement because nothing drops those items in quantities that can be measurably farmed, so to fill that gap. But salvage has the opportunity to address some of the other issues that have resulted from the rework, such as the astronomically low demand on ores. Excuse me. The other demand for bars was still quite high before the rework, but they were coming into the game too fast via PVM, so there was no reason to smelt them. Now that they aren't coming from PVM, they should be high demand, but the current amount of ores you need per XP is so low, and the upkeep for masterwork is actually nothing because it takes so long for it to fully degrade. Creating a system for rapidly pulling ores out of the game will only increase the demand and thus the value. That's a really good idea. Yep. Really like that.
And again, the only thing I would change out there, I mean, it's very similar to basically what I said, but the only thing I would change out there is using stone spirits to give them a use in there. Maybe you have, as I said, 2 ore and 2 stone spirits, or 5 ore, 5 stone spirits for the larger ones, however you want to do it. But you need to, to do it that way. And
maybe you can use stone spirits in place of some of the ores if you're short on ores or something
No. I think the ores need to be factored in, that it must be part of it. That the only reason it is salvage is because the stone spirit is actually converted it for you. I called it corrupted salvage. He's calling it perfect salvage. Same type of thing. But I do think stone spirits and ore, again, I probably would still use bars rather than ores, force people to smith it. I don't like just straight out ore being used. But certainly, as I said, to make the biggest one I used to make was my scimitars. So if I could, if I say needed, 1 rune bar, 3, or even if I still needed, 2 rune bars like it used to be, and 2 stone spirits or 3 stone spirits, to make a mid bladed. Corrupted salvage or perfect salvage, however he wants to do it, we just go bang.
Bing, bang,
so
bang.
Do that. Yeah.
Bing, bang, bang.
But certainly that would help in 2 ways. And his idea of using, I was just my initial thought was just use the stone spirits. Combining it with using bar as well will also help take a lot of those ores out of the game quicker. The no elk value, no XP value, of course, is a no-brainer. You must do it that way. You don't want this as a training method. You want this purely as a sink. So, A, you can sell it to people to break down, or B, you do it for yourself to break down. No GP, no XP type thing. That's a no-brainer type thing. But certainly something that really needs to be looked at properly and gotten out there.
Well then, I thought the stone spirit debate would rage on, and here we are. It continues. But now we must move on for now. And
I honestly thought stone spirits a week, maybe 2, and we'd forget all about them. But here we are 3 months later, still talking about them. So
I think we'll have them maybe done by the end of spring, maybe. Hopefully.
Summer.
Hopefully. I mean, the whole thing is really a massive waste
of time. By the time the beach comes around, we might not be having a...
Yeah, hopefully we're not talking about stone spirits by then. Because that truly would be a massive waste of time. Wouldn't that be? I certainly think so. I am sheared think so as well. This whole thing is a massive waste of time, according to them. Moving along to the RuneScape official forums, and moving into the final stretch of the show here. We're hitting up the rant forums, Pern. You know what that means. So
the fun things.
If I had the stream deck, this is where I would bang the alarm button or something, and the confetti would fall from the ceiling. We're working on it. I have smart light bulbs now. They're just not bright enough, really, to do anything. Anyway. So I only just recently started playing again after quitting for about 10 years. Played for a month or so, and I just reminded me how slow everything was to level. This wasn't a problem because I enjoyed the game again.
Treasure Hunter. It'll help you out.
Yeah, there you go.
It's designed for you.
Yeah, don't you know? This wasn't a problem because I was enjoying the game again, so I decided to spend some money on bonds in order to have some cash to make things go a bit quicker. Look, he knows. Yeah, pay to win noob, I don't care. Had another little break for a couple weeks as I've been playing Xbox with a few friends to return to my account and only to find it hacked. Didn't see no email saying I had requested to change password or anything. Had every safety system set up to stop this happening, but they seem to have done nothing. My main aim for this rant is to persuade people not to spend their hard-earned money on something like this. In my eye, nothing will be safe on this game. Wouldn't even risk paying for a membership anymore, as I feel I will just lose out on my money again. Will not be returning to this game, and hopefully in the future I will not go back on my choice. It only annoys me as you spend hundreds of hours getting a high skill level to just lose everything out of the blue. That's all. Thanks to those who hope everyone's account stays safe. So, well, where do you think he forgot his security?
Authenticator?
Yeah, probably. Does he even mention every security measure the game offers was taken? So I don't know. He says every security offer the game was measured, but did he really?
Yeah, I mean, if he hasn't had any email or anything, he obviously hasn't got on first up.
Mm-hmm.
Because Authenticator will send you an email if you try. If you have to turn it off, you have to actually click on the email to turn it off. So
yeah,
either that or he may be. Did he come back to RS3 or did he come back to OSRS? Because I don't think they have Authenticator, do they?
No, they have Authenticator. They do.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
They aren't that old school.
I didn't realize they had Authenticator.
Oh, yeah, they have to be up to the security times.
Good. Well, that's good then. Well, and then then you haven't. I mean, I'm sorry, you haven't.
You have no excuse.
And if you did have Authenticator, Gmail secured.
Indeed. We got one final post here for you from James Wolfwood, who says, "Takes too long to get to 99. Why would I want
for you?
What?
Perfect for you, Treasure Hunter."
Again, yeah, Pern is just a chilling hardcore tonight. Why would I want to spend 11 days straight, non-stop playing RuneScape to level up one skill for that long? No real players play this game anymore, and if they do, they should stop. It's a complete waste of time. You should talk to that other guy.
Your birth was a complete waste of time, mate.
At least with other games, you don't have to play the game for 3 months to get level 99 for one skill in RuneScape. Grinding levels are not something that should be done.
Yes, it should.
Go play Counter-Strike or Left 4 Dead or something that you don't have to grind levels, or make it so it doesn't take so long to level. Do you want to interject there, or shall I keep going?
No, I was just going to say, if you try thieving, you can actually go from 1 to 99 thieving in about 12 hours.
Yeah, there you go. There's a couple skills. There's a couple skills you can do that in. Fishing Frenzy, RuneScape.
That's it.
RuneScape should be more like Diablo 2. Instead of letting players level inside the safe areas, they should have to go into the wilderness to level, but instead of them dropping their equipment, they should just drop gold and a trophy of some kind of showing that you'd PK'd someone. In Diablo 2, you drop gold and an ear as a trophy. And in Diablo 2, you'd need to hostile the player first before you can attack them. The only bad thing about this is if you level, you can be killed in a pub game. What are you talking about? This person is high.
Public game, perhaps? public game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm guessing, but this is not. That's not how RuneScape even works. Like, what are they talking? This person.
Thoughts on this? If there are any real players left? I mean, this guy's just a total tosser.
This guy's just
obviously.
This guy's just a troll. Obviously.
I mean, I love the fact that it takes that long. I mean, they $10 a month for the entertainment I get out of this. This is the best value money that I ever spend.
Right.
Just for the sheer fact. I mean, it cost me. Went to the movies the other day. My son works at the cinema, so we get free tickets in there. Still cost me $25 for all the food for three of us. For an hour and a half long movie.
That's without bonus XP, right? For the Roller Ghoster's asking for thieving. Yeah, it's just if doing the safe cracking method
without bonus. 12 hours. Thieves has actually done it. He started an account again. He did an account and did it just on one weekend. 12 hours to go from 1 to 99 using safe cracking. No bonus XP because he basically did it all in a day.
Yeah. Safe cracking is, if you're willing to go intense, you can have that skill banged out in a day. Anyway, there you go. But it takes too long to get to 99. With some skills, I will argue, it can be painful. I mean,
but that's the joy of it, and that sense of accomplishment you have when you hit it.
120 agility cape. I know. I understand pain. I mean, I have a 120 construction cape too. I probably have permanent damage in my hand from that. I have permanent damage in my heart from not getting the pet.
The pet looks really good from the construction. I love having that one out.
I hate you. I want that pet. It's the best pet. It's so cool. Baba Yaga's house is the best. It's probably the coolest pet of all the pets. I want it. Oh, it makes me so mad that I don't have it.
Just what makes me mad is that I can't use any of them because 99% of my game is played with the
I know the stupid
legendary pet.
They need to get that fixed. At least right now,
got to be able to override.
Yeah, at least right now I can have any pet I want out because I don't need to have a pet out for this. Anyway, that is our episode of RuneScape Weekly. How about that? That was a good show.
It was a fun show.
I had a good time. So believe him. Is there a video of something? 12-hour video? Did he record it? Anyway, I had a good time today. Thank you for the show again.
Me too.
In total, we've recorded almost for 6 hours in total today, including the pre-show. Holy crap. So again, you can find us on social media, facebook.com/RSWeekly for our Facebook page, Twitter @RSWeekly. We're on Discord too, runescape.chat. Toss that in your web browser to join up. Runescape.video, that is our YouTube page. Twitch.tv/Magebit or Magebit.tv. That's our Twitch channel to catch us live. That's where we broadcast all these wonderful shows. We're also premiering the shows on Facebook now, too. So if you're following us on Facebook and want to catch the premieres, we also premiere them like a day or so afterwards. So that's a thing as well. So you can find us in game too. Kill, Skill, and Chill. That's Kill, Skill, the letter N, Chill, or runescape.club in your web browser. That'll bring you to our Rune Clan page. Or runescape.expert will bring you to my Rune Clan page. You can also go to runeweek.com. That'll redirect you to the podcast general page for all of your podcasting needs. It's a super good way to just, subscribe to the podcast on either your Android device, your iTunes device. We're on all of your devices that you could possibly need. I'm possibly thinking on maybe upgrading onto Spotify. It would cost me actual money to put the podcast on Spotify, so I've been hesitant to do it. So, if you want the Spotify on podcast, if you want the podcast on Spotify, actually let me know if that would be of interest to you, because it would be like a premium fee for me, but I think it might bring in new listeners and it might be worth it. So I have a little afterthought for the end of the show to think about. Anyway, if you want to support what we do, you can go to patreon.com/RuneScape. You can get access to pre-shows and more there. Lots of tons of stuff. We're coming up on the end of the month here. At the start of every month, all of the pre-shows from the previous month, they get dumped and they're free. You can see them all. So if you aren't a subscriber on our patreon.com/RuneScape page, you can go there April 1st. Not a joke for once. I know it's going to be hard to post this on April 1st. I'll have to post it again on April 2nd. But on April 1st, all of the pre-shows from March will be free. So there'll be a whole nother batch of pre-shows to listen to available on patreon.com/RuneScape to check out. So the catalog continues to grow, and if you enjoy them, maybe it will continue to throw a buck in and grab some of the new stuff. Again, you can also check out my personal projects, which include microblogs, audio logs, dementia project that I'm working on about my grandmother at Magebit.me, if you are so inclined. Anyway, we'll do it all again next week. Thank you so much. Happy scaping. Stay tuned for reruns if you are so inclined for that. Otherwise, take care.
See you later.